Season 2, and we are here in Belgium, the greatest racetrack in the world. It has everything. There's straights, we got some lovely chicanes, we've got hairpins, and of course we're just seeing in the background now the track map, and look at that Eau Rouge. What an incredible sight that is. It's I'd say that's one of the most magnificent spots to watch F1 in the world, isn't it? Well, possibly. Maybe you throw in there Maggotts and Beckett's as well. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic race. This is definitely one of my favourite tracks, and I'm really looking forward to this one. And if you just add in the microclimate we have around here as well, it's going to be really interesting, isn't it? As I'm just trying to get the stream up now, as we'll be ready to rock in. But before we go into anything too. Yeah, any all the fun that we're going to have in just a second. Let's just take a quick recap about, of course, Spa. I love the circuit, but unfortunately, this is the location where that awful accident happened, didn't it? Between Anton Hubert and one Manuel Carrera. Well, we've got some good news for Carrera, hasn't he? He's had a successful surgery, hasn't he? And he's now back. Well, he's now in the recovery phase, isn't he? So that is absolutely incredible news. So nicely done that is as well. So brilliant stuff to hear that. Of course, so it was 5 years ago yesterday as well that we lost another young Frenchman who was perhaps destined for a Ferrari drive in the not too distant future. Now, of course, there's Jules Bianchi, who, of course, tragically, he lost his life a year after the I think it was on the weekend of the Hungarian Grand Prix 2015. But of course, and it was that awful crash in Suzuka, where yeah, it was pretty horrific stuff, wasn't it, back in 2014. So yeah, so I must admit, I think I love Formula 1, I love motorsport. It's absolutely fantastic. It's the best sport in the world, in my opinion, by far. But I think one of the most hard. I've done this commentary malark for since March this year, actually. Was when I first started back in the first ever ALR race, which was dubbed HR racing, wasn't it? Way back when. That was my first ever commentary. And for Formula 1 game. Well, and to be honest, I must admit I've enjoyed every single minute of it. But the one race which would stick out for me, and is the French Grand Prix, probably one of the most difficult races of the season. One of the most difficult races, because it was literally the day after Hubert passed away. So yeah, and come back here today, come back to Spa today. It's a very it's a very it's very tough, isn't it? Motorsport's dangerous. Of course, we've lost so many drivers, haven't we, over the years of in this sport. To be honest, it's a brilliant sport, isn't it? And it's dangerous as well. Is that why some of us love it? Well, I must admit, I do. I just love fast cars, to be honest. I must admit, I was one of the people that really didn't like the halo. Of course, the halo was brought in to protect the drivers, wasn't it? And it's just on board of Renton, and you can see the halo in front of us now. To be honest, I don't even notice it anymore, because it's been on the cars for 2 seasons now, hasn't it? Of course, ALR has always, since ALR has existed, we've always had the halo on, haven't we? So it's second nature for our championship. But of course, more of the older leagues, and of course Formula 1 itself, it looked a bit odd, didn't it, originally? But yeah, I must admit I'm getting used to it now. I must admit I do prefer the aero screen, which I think the IndyCar guys are starting to use, aren't they? So that'll be interesting to see how well they do. Anyway, yeah, enough about that. So we just wanted to of course, so we've got a couple of drivers out there that will be carrying. Oh, and that's already a big blow for Lorenzo. He's in the wall already, coming out of Blanchimont there. No, not Blanchimont, sorry, Puyol there, and that is not a good start there for the Irishman at all in the racing point. So yeah, that's not good at all there for the Irishman. Then you can see then it's a very difficult corner now. I think it's the most difficult corner on this track now, with all the downforce these guys have got. So and also there's no ballast on these cars either anymore. So that is not very good for Renzo, is it? And not a very good start at all. And anyway, as we're 3 minutes into the session, I've been waffling on, and I haven't really touched on them. And then the parish notices. Well, Laggy Racer should be joining us in a fair few minutes. Of course, he's had some. He's just dealing with a family matter at the moment. So hopefully we'll see the second Ferrari driver in just a few moments. And also, Grillsy is out. He's got a qualifying ban for being a naughty boy. So unfortunately Grill Z will not take part in this qualifying. That's our loss, but don't worry, he'll be in the race as well. Just watching Exile now as he's coming around at last source and he's about to start his lap. Let's go on board with the Toro Rosso driver, and whilst we're doing that, of course, let's just take a quick look at comments. Great to see all you guys watching me. Well, sorry, watching them, listening to me babble on about all sorts of nonsense. We're just on board with Exile, and this is coming up the Kemmel Straight then. So we're coming up to Maycomb then. John for Cox just said, good evening Sean, good luck to all the drivers tonight, looking forward to Bowden, especially next week, because it's his home race. Of course it is. Of course the John for Cox is the British Italian, half British, half Italian, incredible. And also we got John for Cox is also our Ted Kravitz as well in the pit lane. He is just scouting around, seeing what the weather's like, and he has said it's 45 minutes to race, it's going to rain, so he might just miss it. Oh, that's going to be interesting as well. So we might have a bit of sprinkling of rain then towards the end of the session then. So it's great to see. But look at this, we got a couple of debutants in this group tonight, and we've also got a couple of returnees as well, haven't we? And it's great to see those familiar names back. But before we do so, let's just take a quick look at the Drivers' Championship, shall we? So I tell you what, it's so tight now at the top, it's unreal. And well, we've also got some more sad news, unfortunately, as that's just reminded me. Unfortunately, Knowlesy has decided to call it a day in the ALR, and he is now going to be more of the he's going to be the head honcho in the background now. And it's unfortunate to lose a talent like that of Knowlesy, because on the track he's done a fantastic season this year, hasn't he? I think his stats was absolutely phenomenal. Let's just bring up his stats for this season. Knowlesy, of course, he's had 1 DNF in 10 starts, and he has done absolutely phenomenal. 4 podiums, 2 pole positions, and of course he had 2 fastest laps as well there. So yeah, I think that's a mighty shame there for Knowlesy as Exile's coming to the picture. We haven't got no one on the we haven't got no one who's set a time yet. We're just watching Emerson, who is the championship leader. John for Cox out on track as well. He's on good form at the moment, isn't he? Watching one of our debutants now, William Nouns, or I'm just going to call him William, in the McLaren then. So it's great to see William there dipping his toe into ALR. Of course, he's a veteran there of the midweek racing franchise. So it's great to see what he can do over here as well. So it's great stuff. We like to have a bit of expansion there, don't we? Farshot, who looks like he's invalid his time and is going to have to go around again then. Farfair is just starting his lap as well, then he's got in the DRS zone. Yeah, anyway, in the championship then it is Emerson who's leading by 1 point. 1 point from Granty in second. It's been an absolutely incredible duel as well. Knowlesy was up to third and he was only 6 points behind now, but Knowlesy is unfortunately had a sabbatical. Excuse me. You can see I still got my mouth. I'm a very slow healer, and that's why I don't play any action games. Yeah, in fourth position then is Jonathan Coxon. He's had a mighty strong second half of the season so far, hasn't he? In terms of results, then he's been very good. He's put himself back in the championship hunt, hasn't he? His win a week ago was absolutely phenomenal, and that's really helped him out. Farf has dropped down to 5th now. Of course, he was the leader earlier on in this season, but at the moment he's having a showing for 4 in a row, but he's 17 points behind the leader, so it's not all done and dusted yet, as we're only on round 13. Nigel is at the moment in 6th position, and so he's moved up 2 spots. He's 4 points behind. Dan Murphy is down to 7th. 8th position is Exile. 9th is Silent Shift, and unfortunately Silent has also decided to he's got a yellow flag floating around at sector 1. Just taking a look to see what... Oh, that's Maxi who's gone off in the Renault. Of course, you might recognise Maxi. He used to be a 4-time Williams driver, but he's had to step back as they away from with other priorities in his life. But he's damaged his front wing there in the Renault, so he's replacing Wishbone, and he's so unfortunately for Maxi having a couple of issues there. We're watching William now, who is in the McLaren, and as he's coming through Blanchimont now and up into the bus stop, of course, the reprofiled bus stop back in 2006, where Spot took a year off. And Spot took a couple of years. It was randomly dropped off the calendar, wasn't it, in 2003 and 6, which really depressed me. William goes in to a 45.00. Lovely time there from the McLaren driver, making his debut tonight. So good stuff there from Williams there. Farshot is in 10th position, so that's the drivers. In the constructors then, we have Toro Rosso, who is top of the times at the moment. Renzo goes second. Sorry, top of the standards at the moment. Great stuff from the Toro Rosso. They are, as you can see, we've got a crazy hitman there. Fire Shot is out because he's in the wall. He's in the wall. Oh no, Fire Shot, who's in the top 10, is in the wall already in this Belgium Grand Prix. Well, this qualifying session, he is going to, that's 2 guys out already. Grillsy, who's been a naughty boy and is unfortunately got a qualifying ban, and Fire Shot is also out as well. So that is a huge blow so far. We've got Roscoe on screen at the moment, and he's making his debut as well tonight. We'll talk about that in just a few moments when I've finished yabbering on about the championship. But my gosh, so that's not good at all for Fire Shot. He crashed just here. Wow, that is a big blow for Fire Shot. So that's one of the big names out already. And I'm talking to Toro Rosso. Yeah, we're on board with Toro Rosso now. The newest recruit, Roscoe. He is Toro Rosso are 8 points in front of Renault in the championship at the moment. The constructors, Toro Rosso have regained their top spot. Third position is Racing Point. Good, great result for John Cox has moved them up to the third. Haas in fourth. Fifth is Red Bull. Alfa Romeo 6th with Ferrari 7th. McLaren 8th. Mercedes 9th. And Williams is in 10th position. Alright, on board there with Roscoe. They're making his debut tonight. Of course, he's a seasoned veteran himself, isn't he? He goes full fast at the moment in the Toro Rosso, and that's a good time. And of course, I wonder if he. I don't think the Scotsman has any butterflies, to be honest. I think he's just happy to be out there. So good stuff indeed. Just watching Mr. Elite then flying up to the bus stop chicane now. As Mr. Elite, then we've got Renzo just in the foreground there. Emerson's fast at the moment. He hasn't won a race since Canada. Wow, that's incredible, isn't it? He came to ALR. He stormed to victory in Azerbaijan and Spain. Of course, Nosey, of course, took him out in Monaco. No, not really. Unfortunately, Emerson's too close into the chicane now. So it's got yellow flag flown out and Blanchimont as well. That's Emerson who's just come back into the pits. What about Nigel, of course, season 1 champion, and he is now starting to find his feet, isn't he? He's had issues with steering, hasn't he, most of the season in the Alfa Romeo, but he is now starting to look very formidable, isn't he? Later on, you can tell, wow, look at this. We might have a late charge from Nigel. Of course, he is at the moment ALR's most successful driver with 6 wins so far. And he's got well over 300 points in his career as well. That's incredible. That's incredible, isn't it? Got yellow flags floating around out there everywhere at the moment, haven't we? Great stuff. There's Farford's on the lap of the moment. Sam is just cruising. Problem for Sam, I think he's just getting away with Farford at the moment. So can Farford get himself back into contention there? Cool. Well, he still is in contention, isn't he? He's 5th in the championship, but only 17 points behind. For his start off the season, he's got 3 wins to his career in ALR. And of course, he had 2 of them this season in Australia and Bahrain. Incredible start to a season for Favre. Coming out the corner of No Name at the moment, and now dropping down the hill. Then here comes Pouillon flying through it. And of course, talking of Favre, he has the most in terms of qualifying battles and out qualifying teammates this year. Favre has the most. He's out qualified his various teammates 9 times this season in 13 races. Favre is Sam is out as well. Sam is out. Oh, excuse me. I've got an awful cough, haven't I? And who's that? That's Granty. Granty's out of the round qualifying as well. Where is that? It's that coming out of Lecombe there. I'm wondering if he oh dear, that's a big blow for Granty. We've lost Sam, we've lost Farshot, and we've lost Grillsy. Grillsy's qualifying ban ain't gonna feel too bad now, is it? Roscoe, yeah, it's out of Lecombe there. So unfortunately, Granty is out of qualifying. We've lost Granty, Farshot, Sam, and Grillsy. I think that's it for qualifying then. So you just need to set a lap in, and then you're sorted. Wow, incredible stuff. Here comes Fisher then. Of course, Fisher was missing last week in Hungary, wasn't he? But he might be coming back for vengeance now as well. We've got some very strong drivers in this category now, haven't we? It's really good to see, isn't it? Just watching CEO as well. I haven't even had time to talk about our debutants or anything like that, but we will talk about them in a second. Grillsy just said, "Hi, it's Grillsy watching everyone have fun." So you can see, unfortunately, Grillsy has been in the naughty books. So Fisher goes fast on a 44.5 at the moment for Fisher. This man has the pace, doesn't he? He just needs to get a clean racing, doesn't he? If he does get a clean racing, remember he won the community event, didn't he? In fine style as well. But I don't even know what it was. Of course, Nosey was the mastermind behind that. I might have to ask him later on. As I'm just watching Stringy now. I can't remember what it was. I don't think it was too long ago. Of course, we did it around the home of motorsport. So just on board then with as far as abandon this lap and come back in then. Stringy on board with now. Fisher's setting fast up. He's the benchmark at the moment, isn't he, Fisher? And oh, I'm really for that. 2 tenths of a second up so far. Jonathan Cox is 6th position at the moment in the racing point. So just watching then, and we're just watching Stringy then coming up to the bus stop chicane now. Now then there's Stringy there, accelerates away now nicely. Look at that, lovely stuff indeed. And he's going to go again though, because he's done a 58 there. I think there's a lot more time in the bag there for Stringy. We just had Rayner, of course. Rayner is a colleague of Grills. He raced in the midweek racing as well. Looking forward to Grills. He cutting his way through the field from the back of the grid. Far for pole. Oh, I love it. I love it when people don't sit on the fence there. Yeah, I like your predictions then. So far for pole position at the moment this season. Farf has actually not had any pole position so far this season. He's only had one fastest lap as well, Farf. But I tell you what, he's very consistent, isn't he? Talking of consistency, here comes Maxi. He's fastest. Maxi has gone fastest on a 44.5. Of course, the former Williams driver. And wow, that's a good time there for Maxi, isn't it? Of course, he's had a very difficult start to life in ALR, hasn't he? Of course, he has. He's scored the points in Canada, and then the rest of it, and then unfortunately he's DNF'd his other race. So, but wow, you know, he's happy with that. It's like a slam dunk, isn't it? He's happy with that, and he's decided to call it a day already. Oh God, yeah, you can see I'm still full of I'm still full of man flu, ain't I? Yeah. Oh, that's why I don't go out, you see. That's why gingers don't go outside, because of the natural elements. We got to fight off the UV lights, and also we got to fight off germs as well, because apparently we're going to become extinct very soon. On board with Stringy at the moment, and of course Stringy's first attempt was just under 2 minutes. I think there's a lot more in the bag there for Stringy. And now then, look at this, and he's flying then through a Blanchimont now up to the bus stop chicane, the reprofiled bus stop chicane. Renzo's out. Renzo is out of the qualifying. That is a major blow, and I think that I wonder if it's up to the top of Radion. And just taking a look now, so we have lost Renzo as well. We've lost a lot of drivers so far in this stage of qualifying. Stringy goes 7th fast at the moment in the McLaren Mercedes. No, not McLaren Mercedes just yet. Just on board. Yeah, it is up at the top of Radion there. Just taking a look then. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it, for for Renzo? He was I think he would have been through. Murphy comes across the line and he goes second fastest. Of course, Murphy, I've got to say, in the wet he is definitely the rainmaster, isn't he? He's Schumacher-esque. In the dry though, he is looking very strong as well. Great to see Murphy up there as well. Exile hasn't set a time yet. Well, I think Exile's out of qualifying. Exile's going to be out. Farfed just needs to set a time, and he's through as well. Oh, get a drink, Sean. Sort yourself out, son. Now it's a Farfed coming through the corner with no name. And now you can see flying down Puyol. I'd say that. I did say earlier on that Fisher's gone faster still. A 44.3 there. Wow, response to Maxi. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. It's great to see some newish names up there, isn't it? Am I surprised? No, not at all, because we all know the talent, don't we? The guys in here is absolutely brilliant to see, isn't it? Out of qualifying, and it's Granty. He's binned it. I think he's just had Granty's just said, no way did I just bid it. Back of the grid for me. Unfortunately, it will be for Granty unless someone gets a 5-place grid penalty. But Granty out. I think Laggy will start 20th if he joins. Fire shot is in the wall as well. So that's 2 big names that starting near the back. Exxon as well is going to be out. He hasn't set a time. And Grillsy out as well. Of course, Grillsy's qualified bad. Well, he's going to start 16th. So not too bad at all, is it? And of course, you go. Oh, in fact, that's a 44.3. Wow, look at this. This is very, very good indeed. 700 of a second separates the front two. Oh, wow. This is looking very good as well. Fisher there, just flying through a Puyol at the moment. He is just coming in the pits then. What about Roscoe? As we mentioned before, Roscoe, of course, making his debut. He's 3 tenths of a second up. At the moment, that will get him in front of Mr. Elite. Mr. Elite is out on track as well, but he's on an out lap. Crazy Hitman is 11th position. Of course, Crazy Hitman's had issues with his throttle, hasn't he? But I tell you what, since he's got that fixed, he had a fantastic Hungarian Grand Prix, didn't he? Both him and Laggy, I think that was the drive to the season. It was a fantastic race for both drivers, and really applaud in there. And of course, Grant here. Gross just said Favre's got pace. Rain in the race though. Oh yeah, of course, like Jonathan said, there is going to be a bit of rain in the race, isn't there? And of course we love that. Yeah, so of course Reina did predict that Far from get pole, and look at that, on Q1 already. Remember, we're only expected to lose 4 drivers. Wow, we've lost a lot more than that, haven't we? We've lost Renzo, we've lost Sam, we've lost Grillsy, we've lost Exile, we've lost Fireshot and Granty as well. I think I meant to say Grillsy. And now you can see that there's Roscoe then, of course, making his debut. Also a return for Stio as well. It's great to see Stio. Stio's returned back to the Williams. Yeah, to be honest, he's quite synonymous with the Williams, isn't he? He seems to be in Williams in a lot of categories. And yeah, so Stio there is in finish mode. Roscoe making his first ever ALR appearance. And what's he doing? He's got 7th. Good stuff from Roscoe. Only a 10th off the champion. So that is definitely a statement of intent there from Roscoe. What about Mr. Elite? Well, I think he's cruising now, but he was 3/10 of a second up there in the opening sector. And I think he's just, whoa! And you can see, look at that. That's where Fireshot went on further on. So yeah, Elite doesn't want to be doing that because he is safely through then. So we have lost in this qualifying session Granty, Fireshot, Exile, Grillsy. So that's the bottom 4 that have gone normally. And we've also lost Sam and Renzo as well. That's a shame for Sam. Sam didn't think he would get through Q1. Well, he has, but unfortunately unable to take part in Q2. And also Renzo out in 14th position as well. The lucky thing for all these boys is that well, it's very easy to, well, it's quite a nice track to overtake on, isn't it? And really look forward to the run up from that source into up into Lake Om. Love it. And really look forward to that, of course. So just watching Mr. Elite then come into the pits then. So that's the end of qualifying 1, everyone. And well, we've had a lot of action already, haven't we? We've only started like in the last 18 minutes. And that's all good. Emerson's after session now. And of course we got Tristan. Tristan, of course, he made an appearance, didn't he, back in Australia, of course, for the Red Bull team. He's fully behind team Jonathan Cox, and why wouldn't you be? Jonathan is having a fantastic period in his career, isn't he? Listen to these last starts for Jonathan. Second in Britain, 2nd in Germany, and then 1 in Hungary. That was Jonathan Cox's 2nd ever ALR race win. So can he now kick on from that and kick on from that and really challenge at the top? And, I tell you what though, we haven't got who's the highest placed championship contender at the moment? It was Emerson, isn't it? Emerson's left the session, so hopefully he'll be back in soon. But yeah, Emerson is the highest placed championship. The man who's 2nd is down in 19th. Oh my gosh, this is going all sorts of wrong, isn't it, for the championship contenders? Sorry, Farf is actually top, isn't it? Because Farf is still a championship contender in my opinion, because he's only 17 points away. And now we're just ticking down now to the end of Q1. And yeah, Gross did say Jonathan did smash Hungary. He absolutely did, didn't he? He controlled the pace well. He looked after his tyres. It was very much Vettel-esque, wasn't it? Where Vettel-esque just scampers off into the distance and just controls the pace, controls the tyres, and he did absolutely beautifully well there, didn't he? And really good to see. Right, we're going into Q2 now then. We've got 13 drivers in this qualifying 2, since we've had a couple of smashes in the bumps and bruises already, haven't we? A lot of drivers visiting the barriers, which yeah, it was very interesting start as well. And we're just waiting for this to get going. Now his gate's going as well. Yeah, so of course, as Jonathan said, next week we're in Italy. We are on round 13 already. So we got 7 races to go in this championship, and anything can happen. It seems like if anyone builds up momentum, Farf had so much momentum earlier on this season. Then Emerson took the ball by the horns, didn't he? And then now Granty and Jonathan Cox have really shown their oh, Laggy Racer has joined as well. Has really showed their consistency, hasn't they, in this event, in this season, I should say. It's really good, isn't it? Of course, last season the championship went down to Abu Dhabi, didn't it? The second to last race of the season of that tour. It's incredibly wacky last 2 races, I gotta say. I must admit I quite enjoyed it, to be fair, but I don't think many of the drivers did. Of course, Nigel there, brilliant drive in Abu Dhabi, didn't he, to win the first ever as Laggy Racers left the session, where Nigel had a great drive in Abu Dhabi to win the first ever ALR championship in fine style as well. Remember, we have to do one-shot qualifying in Abu Dhabi, and Emerson is rejoined back into the session. Now let's see what he can do as well. On board Jonathan Cox then, is he's on the medium compound tyre, and so as he's now just come through the second part of the lap. Yeah, then of course Jonathan Cox actually went head-to-head with Nigel, didn't he, in the 18th and final round of Season 1 last season. It was absolutely phenomenal drive, wasn't it, for Jonathan? Nigel made a mistake. Jonathan forced Nigel into making a mistake. And up until that point, Nigel was definitely untouchable, wasn't he? His first season was absolutely incredible. It was record-breaking, wasn't it? As I said, 6 wins in his first season. Over 300 points. It was incredible. Over 300 points in his career so far for Nigel. Of course, made his debut back in Canada in Season 1. So Jonathan there coming around the front corner. Of course, he usually has the traditional Italian colours on his helmet today. We're all, several drivers have got the Jules Bianchi tribute helmets on. So, of course, we remember Jules Bianchi 5 years after that awful day in Japan. Of course, in 2014. It's quite a haunting race that was, wasn't it? And Sam has left the session as well. Hopefully Sam will be back in soon. We've lost Laggy and we've lost Sam now. Yellow flag in 3. Excuse me, sorry. If I knew how to mute my mic, I would. Now Jonathan Cox coming up to Lacom now. He's done a 30.1 there so far for Jonathan. He hasn't got a pole position yet, has he? Laggy is back in the session now. We've got 12 minutes to go. Why is Jonathan on the yellow stripe tyres, you're wondering, when the red stripe is obviously the fastest? Well, this is because if you qualify in the top 10, Grant is there for session as well. I'm wondering if it's something to do with the sound issues that keep plaguing a lot of Formula 1, which is really annoying, I must say, because if you can't hear your car, then it's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult to listen to the car, to get your gear shift right, to get the revs right, isn't it? Jonathan Cox said. But as I was saying, Jonathan Cox is on the medium compound tyre. The reason why it's on the medium compound tyre is because of if you qualify in the top 10, you must start on the tyre which you set your fastest time on. So we got Stringy and Far from the hard compound tyre. If Grant was in this session, I would bet my bottom dollar that he would be on the hard tyres as well. He's a hard specialist, isn't he? And we'll leave that one there, I think. So Jonathan there is on the medium tyre at the moment, and then he is coming through Blanchimont then. Of course, Max Verstappen on an absolutely cracking overtake back in 2015 there, didn't he? And Jonathan Cox there has just decided to back off a bit. Stringy is on the lap at the moment there in the McLaren as well. Stringy there. He had a very great drive in Hungary as well, didn't he? Unfortunately, penalties did rob him, didn't they really? But Stringy there, apart from Germany, he's had a very strong start to his ALR career, hasn't he? Really strong deep from the McLaren driver. And we have just Laggy Racer. I can't join for the race. I've got my special helmet, because Bianchi and Budge. Of course, Laggy Racer in his home race today, isn't he? Can he repeat the heroics of Hungary? That would be great to see, wouldn't it? Fisher's gone fast on a 44.8 on the medium tyre. Tell you what, Fisher's looking very strong at the moment, isn't he? Stringy a second on a 46.5. Farf is coming through the background, also on the hard tyre. And what does Farf do? And Farf goes third fastest out on a 48.8 there, so I think Farf would like to go again on the hard tyres because these are hard tyres. They're more durable, so they might take slightly longer to get fired up then. Of course, I don't take long to get fired up either, do I? Because I'm on it like Sonic all the way from the start to the end. Even with my illness. Emerson at the moment in the car 19, of course, still having the tribute to Anton Hubert. Coming over the support Grid Hutchinson. Now coming up to Eau Rouge and Radio. Look at that. It's not a cracking sight to see. But look at this. And Emerson, what's he doing? And of course, Jacques Villeneuve. And Stringy's retired. Stringy is retired from the session then. That is a big blow for Stringy, isn't it? Because he's done a 46. That means he ain't going to be, even if he gets through to Q3, he ain't going to be able to take part. Just on board with him now. He's up to Lake Com somewhere. Oh, I think it's the same place as where Granty's gone off. It is. So Stringy's in the same place as where Granty's gone off. In that is a major blow. That's two very experienced drivers that have gone off Lake Com. What's going on up Lake Com? Oh, that's very interesting indeed, isn't it? Excuse me. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. So excuse my coughing. That's going to get very annoying very quickly, I reckon. Almost as annoying as my voice. Emerson is still on the lap at the moment then, so he is in the second half of the section now. I can't believe it. So Stringy and Sam has joined back over as well. So we have lost Stringy and Granty at the top of Lake Com, at the top of the hill. That's really interesting actually, because I don't think I've seen many cars go in the wall there. So there's something going up at that corner there. I don't think it's any weather that's moving in or anything like that. I don't think it is anyway. Yeah, it's really odd up there, isn't it? It must be very, very slippery as well. Emerson then coming through the final couple of courses now up to the bus stop chicane course. It was reprofiled a couple of years ago. I must admit, I do prefer the old bus stop chicane course before they started fiddling with it. And now then coming through the bus stop chicane. Now then, what's he doing? 2 DRS zones around here, and he goes into second position. Emerson does. He is 3/10 of a second off Fisher at the moment. So Fisher is looking the class of the field so far. Lovely. Jonathan Cox in throttle. Doesn't feel right in third gear, so Jonathan might have a little bit of a balance issue there. And Maxi has gone second. I tell you what, Maxi's having a return to form, isn't he? Of course, 2 races before when he drove for the Williams team, but in the Renault, he's looking phenomenal, isn't he? I love the helmet colours as well there from Maxi. Very Nico Rosberg-esque, isn't it? From when he was in the Williams team, so good to see. Nigel there is flicking it through and coming up to the back straight now. We've also got William out there as well at the moment in the McLaren, of course, as I said, making his debut tonight. Good stuff. Him and Roscoe making their debuts tonight, and we've got Maxi's happy with that, and he's called it a day already. What about Nigel? Sam's back in the session as well. Nigel coming up to the bus stop chicane now. He's right at the deployment. Comes around the bus stop chicane now. Accelerates away. DRS enabled. And what does he do? He does a 45 there. He is 4th fast at the moment. Oh, yeah. And now as Nigel there is coming now is 4th position. Well, good stuff there from Nigel. We've also got Jonathan Cox out there. He's struggling with the balance there, isn't he? William, I think, is invalid. His time is going to have to go again. So Jonathan, I'm going to stay with it at the moment. Then coming into the corner with no name. I think it's called the Jackie Hicks corner now, though, isn't it? As I think it was mentioned on the Belgium Grand Prix weekend, it's now called the Jackie Hicks corner. On board then with Jonathan Cox then in the second section now in the racing point. And we got a yellow flag in 3. Hopefully don't lose any more drivers. We have lost a lot of drivers in this qualifying session. It's been a very brutal qualifying session, hasn't it? And now just watching Jonathan. He's done a 16.8 there in the second section for Jonathan. He hasn't set a time yet. Who else hasn't set a time yet? Mr. Elite's out on track at the moment. We've also got Crazy Man as well. William is back in the pits then. Now coming through Blanchard more than Jonathan Cox is then. Look at this. Doesn't lift off at all. Look at that. 200 miles an hour there flat out from the racing point. Now into the bus stop chicane then. It's gone a bit deep in the first part, but that's alright. He's got away with it. Nicely done there. Severson away now. 2 DRS zones around the Belgian Grand Prix. And he goes 6 faster for Jonathan in the racing point. Mr. Elite is, as Fisher's retired from the session, Mr. Elite there is on track at the moment. Has he even got an end plate missing? He has got an end plate missing, Mr. Elite has. So he's actually, I think he's had an adventure somewhere. Because this is a longer track, you've got to be out there quite fairly early on. It's a, of course, you can see the lap time at the moment is a 44.8. That's a very long time. That's a minute and 3/4, isn't it? In Formula 1 standards, it's very, very long around this circuit. Crazy Man is coming back in the pits mode. I tell you what, his heroics in Hungary was absolutely Damon Hill-esque, wasn't it? When he was driving for the hours, it was a fantastic drive from a Crazy Man. Really showed some pace, didn't he? And it was a fine effort. And here comes Steve now, starting the lap now. Is Mr. Elite then? I think he'll be in the pits this time now. No, yeah, he's carrying on. Mr. Elite is. So we're broken end plate. This is a fairly good lap there from Mr. Elite. He's done a 46.2 there, a broken end plate. That's good. That's good effort there from Mr. Elite. What's Steve then making a return? Then Steve is. Of course, then he's of course a returnee, isn't he? Steve. Of course, he's been in 7 races before, hasn't he? Let's take his all-time stats so far in ALR. He's at 73 points, hasn't he? He's had 2 podiums as well, and he's only had 2 DNFs, so very consistent. Steve is. So I remember when he got his first podium with ALR, he was absolutely ecstatic, wasn't he? I remember having this conversation with him, and he was really happy. But I think that was his second podium, not his first. But I think it was a brilliant drive from Steve, wasn't it? Now, as you can see, flying through Pouillon there, can't take too much curb there because you'll end up in the wall, and that's not really what you want to do at this stage of qualifying. 4 minutes to go. Dan Murphy is out on track now. CEO's on the lap. Then we've also got William out there as well. William Nouns is out there as well. And going very well there. Roscoe and Crazy Hitman are still in the pits at the moment. They're chilling out. So they might need to start to think about getting a move on in a minute. And and now he's coming to Blanchimont now. Then you can see that going slightly wide, not too wide. And thanks Elliot. I think Elliot just said, nice to have you back in the commentary box. Oh, it is indeed. Yes, I'm sure you've missed my really rough Forester accent. So it's great to see Elliot back in the race as well. We missed him last time out in Hungary, but he's here today. And I tell you what, he's making up for lost ground, isn't he? Fisher is a fantastic start to his to his Belgium Grand Prix event. Is Mr. Elite there is coming in the pits then. Murphy is just about to start that. So what about William then? He comes down the coming down up to Eau Rouge then. Of course, that's, as I said there, Eau Rouge had seen some spectacular accidents, and of course I'm thinking about the 98 Jacques Villeneuve had an awful accident there in the Williams. Then in 99 him and Zonta had a crazy old bet about who's going to go there flat out. Of course it's quite easy flat out now, isn't it, for Eau Rouge and for Radion, but back then the 99 cars were a bit more slipperier to drive, weren't they? And of course I think both of them had a big old smash there, didn't they? And of course we just got Broke Gorilla in the commented mode. Of course a veteran of ALR, Broke Gorilla is, and he just said good luck to Jonathan Cox as well, which we echo that because Jonathan Cox has done is really on forward one, but he's struggling at this moment. And oh my gosh, be quiet, Ginge. And William now is 11th at this moment. So but yeah, I'm a stat machine today because Broke Gorilla's got 24 races under his belt in ALR. Of course, he's one of the most experienced drivers in this league. So yeah, of course, so it's great to have Broke Gorilla, of course, the friend of the championship, and just having a quick, give a quick shout out to Jonathan Cox there, of course, who is right back in the hunt, isn't he? As I said earlier on in the program, 16 points separates himself and Emerson, and with a Granty at the back of the field, this has really opened up for Jonathan Cox, hasn't it? Emerson at the moment is only third because I think Fisher and Maxi have got genuine pace out there as well. And what about Farf as well? Farf is looking strong around here as well. So is William now, and said, wow, brilliant stuff from William there. Of course, making his debut, but he's doing a cracking old job, isn't he? Of course, he's making his debut in ALR, not in the World of League race, no, is he? Dan Murphy there is just thrown it all in my face with an incredible lap there. 144.8 there from the Ferrari driver. I'll say that Maxi and Fisher had great pace around here, but Dan Murphy has just thrown the cat amongst the pigeons there, hasn't he, the Ferrari driver? Tell you what, Dan Murphy is qualifying performance is really starting to show some pace in that Ferrari, isn't he? He's 3 pole positions this season. That isn't the most so far, because the most is actually Emerson, who's on 4, and I tell a lie because I'm reading the wrong column. It is Dan Murphy. I think he's got 3 pole positions to his name so far, so fantastic stuff from Dan. And of course Emerson, unfortunately Emerson, that's one thing that lacks from Emerson at the moment, I would say, is his speed in pole position. And just watching Crazy Hitman, there's an argument outside my window. I wanted to see what's going on. Anyway, Crazy Hitman there, as you can see, then coming through, then Blanchimont then, and you can see go, oh, he's got very wide there. Is that going to be a corner? Is that going to be a track extension? Then we'll find out in a minute. Crazy Hitman then coming through the final couple of corners out. If it is, this is going to be a big blow. It is! Crazy Hitman is out of qualifying. That's unfortunate for Crazy. What about Roscoe? Roscoe flinging it through Puyol now. On board the Toro Rosso drive, of course, replacing Nosey. He's got 13 seconds left, 12 seconds left. Mr. Elite is out of qualifying as well, so Stringy might have actually snuck through. Can Roscoe on his debut get sneak into Q3? That would be good stuff for Roscoe, isn't it? What's he doing? He's a 17-1 there because he hasn't set a time, so he's got no marker on the board, has he? So but he has to compare it to qualifying 1, doesn't he? At the moment, then, what is he aiming for? He has to aim for a 46.2 or something below that. A 46.2 flat would be good enough. Castillo on his return is up in 9th position. Fantastic, big out there for Castillo. Oh, look at this. This is great stuff, isn't it? Now, what can Roscoe do? He slows it down nicely there. He is aiming for a 46. Look up in the top right-hand corner. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? I think he is going to do it. This is a fantastic drive. Roscoe is through and into Q3 on his debut. Fantastic time there for Roscoe. Brilliant stuff there, and Exile is loving it in the chat as well. Of course, the Exile's new teammate Roscoe, and he's pulling it onto Q3. Incredible stuff there from the Toro Rosso driver, from the Scotsman. Brilliant stuff. The Super Scot is into Q3 on his debut. Fantastic stuff, man. Unfortunately, in that section we lost Stringy. Stringy gone into the wall will come there, which is a shame there. Mr. Elite and also Crazy Hitman didn't set a time, but he'll be 13th. And now then, as we're getting into the final stage of qualifying now, then, as we this is Q3 then, so this is where you're going to see the cars at their absolute peak condition. Then really looking forward to this. It's going to be fantastic. I must admit, I love all your comments coming in tonight. It's been absolutely amazing stuff. I'm glad you're all contributing as well. It's really good to see it. It's the highlight of my week. So thank you all for Yeah, commenting and putting your predictions as well. It's great to see. I'd like to hear what your predictions are. Of course, Rayner has gone straight in there and said Farf is going to be the man for pole position. And at the moment, who can bet against him? Farf once again fast in Q2. Murphy is second. Third is Fisher with Maxi in fourth. Great return from Maxi. Emerson fifth. William now in sixth. Debutant. Seventh is Nigel with Cox eighth. Ninth position is Roscoe, and 10th position is Stio. Wow, that's a different order to what we normally see, isn't it? Brilliant stuff. To us, there isn't really much of a pecking order in ALR, is there? Really, it seems to be coming random and random every week. It's great to see, isn't it? It's a bit like Formula E, isn't it? Where who knows who's going to turn up and win? Only difference is these cars go a lot faster and are probably a bit more demanding, I would say. Just taking a quick... I have missed an awful lot of comments. Sorry about this. Fisher asked, what colour are you using third on in responses to Jonathan Cox's issue with the handling. And Exos said, I had to go and pick up my boy. I had one shot of qualifying, but invalidated my time. And that's a shame for Exo. But on the bright side, it's this is Belgium. You can overtake around here as well. Of course, here's Fisher there at the moment, who is who's looking strong at the moment, but we got Jonathan Cox, who's once again, he's very eager, isn't he? He doesn't play any mind games, Jonathan, doesn't he? He's always out on track first. He doesn't care what anyone else doing. All he cares about is what he's doing, and that's I think that's a very strong character there, right there, isn't it? And of course, we've also got Grills is saying, what a lap! It was an incredible lap there. And Broke also says, I do miss it in ALR. Of course, we miss out on you as well, Todd as well, especially in the commentary box as well, with your with all your experience and stuff like that. Of course, I had Todd and Knowles in the commentary box with me this time last season, didn't I? And Todd, it was actually lucky, wasn't it, really, on some occasions? Because yeah, I lose my head quite a bit when things are starting to go off. I think that one race in particular, Hungary last year, blimey, I think Nosey and Todd kept me on the straight and narrow on that race. So I just watched Jonathan Cox there, who's on outlap. Everyone's on an outlap at the moment, apart from Maxi. And I just finished off with the comments there. Laggy said, oh, I just saw him in the Merc, not a Ferrari tar game. Oh, he's in the Merc, is he? So is Laggy in the Merc? Okay. Oh no, is that because Sam is? I think that might be because Sam has got kicked out there. By the way, that wasn't our doing. I think that yeah, I don't. It's not personal to Sam. I don't think. Of course, Sam is on a bit of a roll at the moment, isn't he? He's really starting to find his feet, isn't he? He's got 3 points. So he's got 3 points recently. Britain and Germany was a fantastic race as well, and in Hungary he has got. I don't think he's got any DNFs in this. I think he's got one DNF actually, which was back in Monaco. But apart from that, he has been fantastic, hasn't he? Consistency Sam has, and he's just getting quicker and quicker, and really look forward to seeing what he can do in the future. Well, look forward to see what he can do here tonight as well, because of course he is in 15th position at the moment. You know, flagging sector 3. Jonathan Cox is the first man then to tackle this circuit. I think that this track is so long, we're only going to see 2 times instead of 3. There is a rumbling that there might be 3 attempts in Hungary, but I think Jonathan Cox is the only one that tried it, then, wasn't he? Possibly. It's been a long. I've slept since then, so anything could have happened. And of course, then, like you said, it says Sam will now be in the Ferrari, and Jonathan's gone very wide there, and that's an unusual line there. And so Jonathan there is just struggling. I think he was struggling in turn 3, wasn't there, with some issues with throttling there, which Fisher did very nicely. Off the tail of that, yellow flagging free. Then Jonathan Cox coming from Puyong now. Then very difficult corner as of course where Giovinazzi had a bit of a big old smash down there, didn't he, in the Formula 1 race run this season? Yeah, so so unfortunately then Laggy is in the Mercedes, and Sam's in the Ferrari, depending on your point of view, if you like Ferrari or not. Both teams are very good to be in, really, aren't they? Of course, all these cars are equal, but as we've heard before, when speaking to some of the drivers earlier on in the season, that is not the case, though, is it? Because Fisher's gone! Fisher is gone! Where is he gone? I'm just taking a quick look, see where it is. Just take. Oh no! I think it's the. I'm wondering if it's at. What is this? Do we have yellow flags on the? Oh no! I think it's the same places where Farshot's gone. We're on board Nigel at the moment. Jonathan Cox in the pits. William Nance has gone fastest. Oh, Fisher is out! Oh my gosh! What a blow! Emerson has gone fastest on pole position on a 43.8 there from Emerson. Where does that come from? He hasn't on a pole position yet in his career. Emerson hasn't, so he could put that one too right now. William Nance making his debut, and he's in second at the moment on a 42.2 at the moment. 45-2, I should say. Dan Murphy, what can he do? He's been phenomenal in qualifying so far. He goes third pass for John. We know more than that. Far from Johnson are not too happy with their runs. I don't think. And Steve's in a different time zone now. Wow, he is. Oh, he's damaged his car. That's why. Ross goes on just about to finish that. What about Nigel? He's in the pits as well. So we've only got 3 times on the board at the moment, and we're 5 minutes into the session. Yellow flagging 2 and 3. Ross goes in the pits as well. Maxi is just about to finish this up now, and I think Steve will be in the pits as well. So only 3 drivers at a time. Fisher is out of qualifying. Jonathan Cox has left the session, and and I think Steo's retired as well. Steo's gone. So I think where's Steo gone? Oh no, this isn't good at all, is it? We've lost 2 drivers. Maxi's gone 4th. This is his best qualifying performance, his best performance in ALR so far in his career. This is his 3rd race. Maxi has it, of course, he has it. He can show some speed, can he? So we've lost Theo and Fisher. Fisher, that's a big blow, isn't it? And Fisher said that was dumb, yikes. What a shame for Fisher, because he would have been. I think that if I was making a prediction, which I don't usually until after the event, because I want to look smart, and also I don't want to cause any mishaps on the drivers as far as out on the track now with 6 minutes to go. But Fisher was definitely one of my was definitely in my top 3 for pole position in this race. He was looking very strong indeed, wasn't he? And Jonathan Cox has asked, could someone invite him back in, because Jonathan's not in at the moment. We got 6 minutes. If someone could get Jonathan back in, that would be cracking stuff. Of course I ain't allowed to because I'm not important enough. 6 minutes to go then. Farfair is just trying to warm up his tyres at the moment. Maxi there is just on an in-lap as well. So is Dan Murphy, and so is William. William is on the front row of the grid then. In his debut, he's had a fantastic debut in that McLaren, isn't he? He's flying the flag for McLaren. Brilliant. I'm loving this. So well done to well done indeed, Dennis. Just watching William Lance into the pits. Farfa's out on track at this moment in time then, and Maxi is retired from the session. So Maxi is retired from the session, and that's not good either. So we've only got 5 minutes. We've got over 5 minutes to go. Then there's enough time to get back out there and get back in. Farfar is having a very slow lap around Belgium. I think he's just taking in the scenery there as well. He's coming down to Puyol. I think just before Puyol, there's a famous shot of Maldonado's car parked outside the Portaloo, which tickled me. I think it was back in 2014. So yeah, that just shows my level of humour. Just watching them Farfus just cruising out at the moment. He is the only man on track. He has got this magnificent circuit all to himself. Then what a lucky man indeed. But yeah, I don't think he's interested in the circuit right. Well, he might be. He probably is interested in the circuit, but I think he's more interested in a 43.8, and he'd see if he can beat that. Can he beat that? Farfus been top in the both qualifying sessions so far. He's going to get a hat trick. He's going to make it 3 out of 3, and of course that'll be Farf's first ever pole position of the season, and I think that would be his first ever pole position of his career. It will be indeed then. So of course Farf, 20 race starts to his name. Farfus, he's a very experienced driver with 3 wins, 7 pole positions, the fastest I've had 2 drivers a day. So good stuff there from Farf. Jonathan Cox is back in the session. Has he got enough time to get himself sorted out and get himself back out there? Farf is into the front. No, yet he's in the pits, and so I think that Farf was just seeing the track, seeing what the track was like there, and now he's back in the pits. So we got the debutant Roscoe then, who is just in the Toro Rosso there. Great debut, isn't he? He's in Q3 already. Fantastic stuff from Roscoe. Brilliant stuff indeed then, of course, then from the Scotsman coming through the corner. No name at the moment. So we've got under 4 minutes to go then. So this is a longer track, this is. And of course there's going to be 22 laps around here in the race in just a few minutes time. That's of course what everyone is here to watch. And crazy amounts left for session as well then. So interesting stuff about the session tonight, isn't it? We've had a lot of guys coming and going. Yeah, so hopefully they can go back in. Well, they've got 3.5 minutes to go, so hopefully get Crazy Hitman back in as well. He's 13th on the grid as it stands at the moment, so hopefully he can get back in because he can get some good points from there. As just taking a quick look to see what's if I've been told if anyone's going on or nothing like that. Nope, not by the looks. I didn't really read it at all, really. So I just didn't see what his name tagged anywhere. Roscoe then coming through, and he's going to start lap now. Him and Jonathan Cox are the only men out on this magnificent circuit coming across the grid hatches now and into last source. Then 2 DRS zones around here, of course, in between the bus stop and last source, and the Kemmel straight as well. Then Look at this, and there's Farf out on the trackers now. No, he's got 2 minutes to go. Let's go on board with the Scotsman. Coming through Eau Rouge. Look at that then. Does he feather the floor? Look at that. Incredible car control from Farf there. I thought he was going off there. Randy on there. He's not electric, it's DRS. He is not happy. He feels that he's lost too much time. Of course, he can find out on the Delta. And that is a big blow for Farf. For Roscoe. And he's retired from the session, so Roscoe will be 10th. Steo will be 9th. That is the only positions we have found out so far in this Belgium Grand Prix landing. It's a very hard qualifying, very brutal, isn't it? It is an expert track, isn't it? And Hitman has just said someone invite him. Of course, Hitman is also lost. Has left the session there. Maybe I'm not sure if he got fed up of got fed up of the Red Bull garage or what, but hopefully he can get back out there in a minute. Farf's on an outlap, John Cox on an outlap, Nigel's on an outlap. Then we got Emerson, who's on. You remember Emerson's in the championship, isn't he? His closest rival is down in 19th. How is Granty going to respond to that? That's the question. And of course, Farfo, of course, is 17 points behind at the moment, and then John Cox is 16 points behind. So it's all to play for still, isn't it? But the closest rival, Granty, is right in the back at the moment. So that's going to be a very difficult race indeed, isn't it, for Granty there in the Renault. On board Jonathan then, look at going through La Source then. So let's just pick up from where he left off with Roscoe, as unfortunately Roscoe had a bit of an issue at the top of the hill then. On board then, look at this. I tell you what, that is a magnificent view, isn't it? Come through a Rouge, and once again then, that's a lot more control there from Jonathan Cox, like going over the rumble strips, going over the curbs there, and out to the Kemmel Straight then. We've seen some incredible action here. Hakkinen and Schumacher and Zonta. Don't hear Zonta's name too often in great moments of Formula 1, but Zonta, of course, was the meat and the sandwich, wasn't he? Hakkinen, debatable one of the best overtakes of Formula 1 history, possibly. Also Schumacher and Hill up there in 95, where Schumacher's on the dry tyres, I think, and Hill was on the wets, and Hill couldn't get by. Schumacher showing his skill that day, wasn't he? I am definitely a Damon Hill fan, but I sometimes got to admit that Schumacher was a talent, wasn't he? Brilliant stuff there. Of course, 97 as well. Of course, we had tropical rains at the beginning in the Spa, didn't we? And it dried up. Schumacher once again showing his Spa expertise. Of course, he's very famous. He's very good around here, isn't he? Who can forget 98? One of the biggest smashes in Formula 1 history at the start there. How was no one injured? It was unbelievable. We did have, I think Barrichello had a cut to his leg or something like that. And it's a John Cox there, go a bit wide there. He's lost a bit of momentum there, and that's not what we need on the back straight here. And then he's coming up then into Blanchimont now then. And as Grillsy is not too impressed with Farf at the moment, he wants Farf to get on with it, doesn't he? Because Grillsy is tipped Farf for pole position. He hasn't set a time yet, Farf, so it's all or nothing. Dan Murphy hasn't made it to the line, so Dan is not going. It's going to be third at the very most so far. Unfortunately, what we're doing for Cox, he goes only fifth fastest for Jonathan there. Farf is on a lap at the moment. Nigel's on a lap. We've also got Emerson and William on a lap as well. So let's stick with Farf at the moment. Farf recovering from Blanchimont there. Incredible stuff at car 19 then. Coming up then to the bus stop chicane and look at this, breaking down to second gear. First gear goes a bit wide. Is that going to cost him? We'll find out now. 43 we're aiming for. Count Emerson. Is Emerson going to get his first pole position? Farf is going fastest. Farf is on pole position. He is going for his first pole position of his career. Brilliant stuff there from Farf. Emerson is always 700th of a second up there. We've also got William out there as well. Nigel is the next man to cross the line, and it's a long old lap, isn't it? So we get to enjoy the laps of the final stages then. Now we're just coming up then to there is Nigel then, and he is now flicking it through Blanchimont here. It used to be more of a much more of a challenging corner, didn't it? Back when, of course, these cars got so much downforce at the moment, and of course Grillsy's having it up, get in there. Jonathan Cox not happy. It's TT is fine on here. It's different. So Jonathan not happy with the setup there. What about Nigel? Nigel comes across the line and he goes third fastest. Nigel, that's course. Nigel is third fastest. Good stuff for Nigel. Emerson then, he's 5 seconds out. Emerson is not going to make it. Farf is going to get his first pole position of his ALR career. Or is he? What about William? He is 4/10 of a second up. That's in the ballpark, isn't it? Coming up to the line now. What's he going to do? We're on board with him. He's going to stop it. He does pole position there for William now. It's on his debut for the McLaren team. Fantastic debut from William. That came out of nowhere. He is really he's definitely deflated Farf's challenge, hasn't it? Oh wow, that's incredible. Great time there from William now. His debut, and he is on pole position then for the Belgium Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed. And wow. Oh, that was an incredible qualifying. Well done to William Nouns there. I'm going to be honest, I think that he's probably fed up of me saying his name wrong, but But I tell you what, he might not be fed up at the moment, because that is an absolutely outstanding lap from William Nouns there. Oh, I'm just going to call him William. He is really blown on his debut. He has got pole position here in the Belgium Grand Prix. What a lap! What a lap! And let's just take a quick look then. William on pole position by a tenth of a second from Farf, who was second. Farf was a tenth away from getting his first pole position in ALR. Same with Emerson, also trying to get his first pole position in ALR. He's also a tenth off as well. Nigel, he's got a couple of those under his belt. He's fourth. Murphy in fifth. He's also got a couple of pole positions as well. Fifth today. Maxi is in sixth position. Great qualifying performance. Maxi is best of his career. Jonathan Cox is eighth. Fisher in ninth. Oh, what a shame for Fisher. He would have been definitely in the ballpark, wasn't he? Stio and Roscoe. Stio making his return, and Roscoe on his debut, ninth and 10th. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Tristan just said, Team Cox, good luck for the good luck. Team Jonathan Cox, good luck for the race, bro. Come through for the win. Of course, who he does win, if the results go his way, Jonathan Cox potentially leading this championship after today. And Tristan also said, unlucky Farf. Farf was very close to getting his first pole position. Very unlucky as well. Nigel, oof. Yep, that's exactly my response as well. And of course, then we've also got Grillsy. Well, that was good. That was good. It was good, wasn't it? It was incredible stuff. And really, if you want a relaxing Sunday afternoon, I suggest this is the wrong place to come. Because there's all action here, isn't it? It's like having an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, isn't it? It's brilliant stuff. Yeah, Bruce Willis and all that combined into one. And wow, what a track that one as well here in Belgium, Spa, Francorchamps. And of course, that's his own microclub as well. As Jonathan Cox and a couple of other racers said that we got some weather in the region. Of course, it's also had the opposite effect, isn't it? I think it was 84 where they were sent home because it was so hot here. The track was breaking up. It was incredible, wasn't it? I remember Martin Brundle saying that one year, and I was quite surprised to hear that. It's great to have you all along here today with your views and stuff. I love your comments. Keep coming them in. It's what it's going to be fantastic. I need your help to get me through this race because there's going to be action all over the place. Farf is taking his time with the strategy because I think he knows that I still got a couple more fun facts to tell you about Spa, which I must admit I love talking about this place. It's brilliant. So Laggy Racer just said yes, he's in the Ferrari. Great stuff to see. Laggy there is 20th on the grid. Then Rainer just said, and it's go far for the win. Grillsy, I want to see you score some good points. And lobby is glitched, so unfortunately then so the lobby is glitched then because I think we're going to blame Farf, but I don't think it is Farf's fault. It's Codemaster as well. So we'll wait for the head honcho to see what's going on there, and then we'll go from there. Then I'll keep you up to date and see what's going on then. Let me lean forward, which is not good side. I've had a lovely shepherd's pie just a bit ago. It was absolutely beautiful. Well, when I say a minute ago, about an hour ago, which was a little. I was meant to start streaming at 25 past, but that didn't happen today because I was enjoying my shepherd's pie. It was absolutely delicious. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, so if I do sound a bit bloated, that's the reason why. Just taking a quick look. Just taking a quick look to see what's going on, and I'm thinking that I'm just going to keep you up to date and see what's going on. Well, not a lot's going on in the old world. Yeah, well, Farf at the moment is still. Well, he just sent us a picture or something. I can't see what it is, to be honest. And well, Dan Murphy just said Farf has hacked the game. So hopefully we'll get a decision going through in a minute, and yep, good. Nolsey's just said give it 1 minute, and so Nolsey is just getting it under wraps. So don't worry, we'll stay with us. It's just a little glitch in the system, a bit like the Matrix, which I'm watching a while actually. I must admit the first one was excellent, wasn't it? I'm not really sure about the last two. I must admit the second one was actually alright, wasn't it? I thought that Battle on the Highway is absolutely phenomenal stuff. If anyone's not nerds like me and don't know what I'm talking about, then please carry on with your Sundays. Tristan just said, bloody Codemasters. Well, yeah. I must admit they used to make quality Colin McRae games, didn't they? I loved the first one. The first one was amazing, wasn't it? Where you were, I used to always pick the Subaru, obviously, because I love that car. That car was beautiful, wasn't it? 95 and 90. Well, all Subarus really was nice. 95 was absolute quality when you had the when you had the number 3 on it. Yeah, and so far shot is just had restart. Yes, we are on a restart now. Nosey is just getting himself sorted, and then we'll be ready to go in just a few moments' time. So that is the last update we've had. So we're just waiting on that, and then we'll get cracking. Anyway, let's carry on with the history of this beautiful Spa circuit. And Murphy has just said that, well, yep, Nosey's just confirmed it is a race restart. So we've had a bit of an anticlimactic start here, but don't worry, stick with us. This is going to get good. Talking of getting good then, yeah, let's carry on with our history as well. 99, I can't really remember what happened there, really, to be honest. I think Coulthard won, didn't he? Yeah, that was as interesting as 99 win, I think. Unless I can't remember something major. 2000 was a quality year, wasn't it? Because it was a bit of a wet start, wasn't it? But then dry at the end, of course, that was when Schumacher and Hakkinen went up to Lake Com side by side. Brilliant race, wasn't it? I think the other race I really liked around here, I think was I quite enjoyed the 2005 race. I don't know why. I think it was because it was the only wet race, wasn't it? Of the season. It's Knowles' left, and so that's the problem. It was Knowles that's the problem, which is nothing unusual there, is it? And we'll be getting going in just a few moments' time then. So it's yeah, 2005 I quite enjoyed as well, because I think 2005 was the only wet race that was the only wet race on the calendar that year, wasn't it? Was China actually wet? I don't think it was. As fire shots after session then, so we're all leaving the session, and then you can see then I think that one of the cars down the field there is doing their best impression of Fisichella there. I think he's in the wrong grid actually. It was XR. So XR's been the squad from the session. Don't worry about that, XR fans. He will be back momentarily. We'll all be back momentarily. And it's good to see I was also right as well, as fire shots also disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. The stewards are a lot more harsh than they were back then, weren't they? And oh, just that notification. Sorry, all you United fans out there, that Newcastle have won. So oh, excellent stuff. That's because I'm a dirty Liverpool player, Liverpool fan. I wish I was a Liverpool player. Wow. But then again, I would be here, and I think this is my passion at the moment. So as we're just, as you can see, then all the cars are leaving the session. And we'll be getting ready to go now. And I have also got to leave the session as well, because otherwise I'm going to be commentating on an empty track, which I don't think would be very entertaining for you guys, really, would that? It's I love it how everyone is still watching this. Actually, it's great stuff indeed. I thought you all were turned off by now after me talking about my favourite Spas moments. Yeah, I think well, I talked about favourite Spa moments. Of course, 2007 really wasn't keen on that one. To be fair, I think I was quite disappointed about how, because I think I was a massive Hamilton fanboy, and I was disappointed that he finished behind Alonso that year. 2008 was absolutely phenomenal, but once again, being a Hamilton fanboy, I was really unhappy with the final result there, wasn't it? Of course, he got 25 place, 25-second penalty for overtaking Massa when he went off the track. No, overtaking Raikkonen when he went off the track, didn't he? So. Yeah, so that was a shame. That was a shame, that was. And of course, the ending was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? That race also ultimately ended Kimi Räikkönen's challenge to keep hold of this championship, didn't he? 2009 was an absolutely spectacular year, wasn't it? Force India almost won the race, didn't they? Fisichella, they're absolutely flying in that Force India, because that was Force India's first ever points, I believe, of their career. But not only that, they also got their podiums on. Their first ever win. It was a brilliant year. I must admit, 2009 was a bit of a wacky year, wasn't it? Really, it was a phenomenal year. I really enjoyed that. Just taking a quick look. And of course, Williams didn't expect himself to set that up. Well, he did. Well, you did, and you did an absolutely magnificent job there. Stole pole position away from Farf. Farf was perfect in qualifying until William came along there and stole the show, didn't he? It was an incredible was it a 143.4 or something like that, or 6? My numbers are not my switch, aren't they? But yeah, 2009 was good. I think that was Hamilton and Button both retired on the opening lap, didn't they? I think after all sorts of going on in Lake Cobb. Of course, 2010 there, of course, where we had a sprinkle of rain, where Vettel was dubbed the Crash Kid, wasn't he, when he went into the side pod of Button and really took Button out. Which I think it was Martin Whitmarsh they called him the Crash Kid, didn't he? Of course, that was before Vettel went on to win 4 titles in a row. 2011, of course, I remember that race because Hamilton turned into once again the camel straight in Lake Com again. Hamilton closed the door on Kobayashi too early, didn't he? And he took himself out. 2012, that infamous crash with Grosjean. Of course, Grosjean was banned. I think he's one of only 4 drivers that have ever been banned in Formula 1, wasn't he? I think the other three was actually in 94, wasn't it? It was Hakkinen won with after he caused the German Grand Prix incident. Irvine was another one, and I can't remember the other person. Yeah, a chocolate bar. If anyone reminds me, that'd be great. I can't remember who the fourth one was, or the other person was in 94. Well, that's gonna bug me now. Yeah, we'll find out later. But yeah, we had three. 94 was of course a very dark year for them, wasn't it? It was a very difficult time, really. Was it? It was a dark year, a weird year, and all sorts was going on. Of course, track modifications was happening here, there, and everywhere as well, following the awful incidents, I should say, in Imola. Of course, Barrichello, Ron Raxenberg, and of course there in the centre as well. So yeah, awful incidents there. We had a modified Eau Rouge, didn't we? Of course, they were going. It was completely so. There was cones all over the place, wasn't it? Really. So it absolutely. There was absolutely. Yeah. It was just. They were just trying to slow the cars down desperately, weren't they? We're almost ready to get going. John Cox is going to try a different setup. So this is it. I suppose that's within the rules, isn't it? I suppose really you should be on the same setup, really. But who am I to judge? I'm up here. I know I'm up here, safe and sound. Well, almost safe and sound, and just enjoying life as I am here on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Well, I will be loving life until about 9 o'clock tonight, where I realise I've got to go back to work on tomorrow. So yeah, gonna make the most of this. We're almost ready to get going then. So as I've been waffling on and talking all sorts of nonsense, then we'll go from there. Farf's just asked, why is he getting the blame? Well, to us, I think that the actual issue wasn't Farf's fault. I think it was. I think that judging from what we've been reading lately, the issue is that if people join late in qualifying, then it causes all sorts of mischief for session restarts and things like that. And as you can see that, I think yes, yep, we are ready to go. As you can see, I think everyone's had enough of my it's had enough of my waffling on now, haven't they? So yeah, I don't think Jonathan's allowed to change the setup, to be honest. I think that you must really keep with the same setup, ideally. As yep, we are.
Hello.
Ready to go, and hello.
No, we're not. Sorry, we're not ready to go. Actually, we just need to have another 5 more minutes.
Okay, Nosey said we just need another 5 more minutes, and then we'll be ready to go. So unfortunately for you guys, you got another 5 minutes of me waffling on, which is absolutely cracking stuff from my point of view. Yeah, anyway, and carrying on then. So yeah, the 2012 Belgium Grand Prix. Woof. Yeah, that big old shunt there, wasn't it? Of course, Jenson Button, I think that was his first pole position for McLaren, if I'm not mistaken, back in 2012 Belgium. And of course, he went from pole position to check flag. Absolutely flew away, didn't he? Unfortunately, the same thing didn't happen for him in Monza a week later, did he? Of course, he retired from that, and I think that effectively ended his championship run as well, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I think the 2013 race, not really much happened, to be fair. Gross is just out. Who do you think's going to win, Ginger? If I want to put, so let me take a look to see who. But to be honest, if I select someone, I'm really sorry to this person if they retire, because that would be really unfair. Who is I must admit, William is looking absolutely phenomenal though, isn't he? He did a fantastic, absolutely fantastic qualifying lap. I gotta say, Favre's in the shot as well. He needs to win, doesn't he? He hasn't won since Bahrain this year, has he, Favre? So Favre needs to get back on it, doesn't he? 17 points behind Emerson though, so Favre would definitely be in the shout as well. And Favre said, "Don't jinx him." So yeah, I didn't say I think you were going to win. I just said you're in with a possibility. So yeah, but Favre, of course, hasn't won since Bahrain, has he? But he started the season incredibly well, didn't he? 2 wins out of 2, and yeah, I feel that. Oh dear. Technically, I did say I think you were going to win, so don't worry, Favre. You can't blame me on this one. Well, you probably could actually. Laggy said he reckons that he's going to win. I tell you what, if Laggy wins this race, his home race, then I'll be absolutely the happiest man alive. Because not only would that be a cracking race, coming from the back of the grid, because remember, Laggy is starting on 20th position. But I think it'll also be a very good day for Laggy as well, which by the sounds it's been a bit difficult for him. So hopefully, yeah, and on his home track as well, I think that'll be a special day for Laggy, wouldn't it? And as Farf has just said, yes, I might have done. So I really hope, to be honest, I shouldn't be biased, but I might. I kind of hope Farf does win now, otherwise I'm going to be in his bad books once again. Farf Shot has just asked what's happening. Well, we're just waiting on the man, the myth, the legend, of course, the race director, to get everything underway. Of course, usually before starts in Formula 1, we do have to wait a couple more minutes, but so we're just waiting for Nosey to give us the go ahead, and then we'll be ready to get racing. We shouldn't be too long. It was 5 minutes about 2 minutes ago, so we've got just another 3 minutes to wait, and we should be ready to get cracking as well. Anyway, carrying on with Grills' question there. I think Grills has saved you all from boredom, to be honest, as I was going through all my favourite Belgian Grand Prix. I basically listened to all of them. Incredible stuff. Yeah, but of course, I think Emerson, you can't discount Emerson. Emerson's last win was back in Canada, wasn't it? That was a cracker race, a good old duel between himself and Nosey, wasn't it? I think a couple more laps, Nosey thinks he could have got him there. To be honest, I think Nosey was closing Emerson down. I wonder if Emerson's tyres were just too far gone in that race. It was a very close run thing there, but Emerson, of course, got his win, his third win of his career. Well, unfortunately, since then he's had some epic races, hasn't he? But unfortunately, hasn't recorded a win, or he's had a podium since then. But yeah, it's been difficult. It's been very difficult, hasn't it, for Emerson? Hasn't it, really? Yeah, of course, he had a podium back in Hungary, so he's back on the podium now. So I think that Emerson should be coming back. Hopefully, could be putting back on song as well, can't he? Well, to be honest, we can't discount out anyone, though, can we? Of course, Don Murphy. I think in Germany he was looking phenomenal, wasn't he? Really, he was really causing all sorts of difficulties. He was having a good old battle as well. His pole position lap in Germany was special. It really was. I love to see him. Hopefully, maybe in a special feature soon or something like that. Maybe we can chat us around that special lap around Germany in that pole position, because that was absolutely phenomenal. And of course, Granty coming from 19th on the grid today. Wow, I said it'd be special flag you win, so it'd be same for Granty as well. Of course, Granty, that'd be epic if Granty coming from the back of the grid to win from there. And who can count out Jonathan Cox? Of course, Jonathan Cox getting his second victory of ALR, but last time out in Hungary as well. So he's strong with the setup at the moment. So hopefully get that rectified. And of course, then as we are almost ready to go then for the Belgian Grand Prix. And to be honest, this gives me a good opportunity to get my to wet my whistle, so to speak. Right, I am now unparched and I am ready to go. So yeah, so of course we're on round 13 then. Of course, next season ALR, of course, we'll be in our third season, won't we? It seems like a long way away, doesn't it? But of course, the next season is scheduled to start. Hopefully, to be honest, I think I might have done myself a hole here. I have got it in my calendar somewhere, but unfortunately, I should have really thought this one through. 1 second. Yeah, the next season of ALR is actually meant to start. I think I read somewhere it's on the 12th of January is season 3 start. 12th of January is the start of season 3. Looking forward to that one as well, of course. Then and there might be a shake-up. It might be a lot of shake-up as well, of course, and all sorts going on as well. So looking forward to watch out for a lot of promotional material as well, which Nosey has been working on over the past couple of days and weeks, and it's really looking forward to seeing that come out, of course. And yeah, I reckon it'd be like a Christmas special of Formula 1, won't it? So keep an eye out for that. It'd be really good to see over the Christmas period, won't it? Of course, as we've only got 7 more rounds to go, haven't we? As we are visiting Italy, that'll be the last European race of the season, won't it? It's the next time out. Before we go to Singapore, Russia, Japan, Mexico, USA, Brazil, before ending it in Abu Dhabi. Potentially, we could have potentially 5 cars battling for the win there, battling for the race win there as well. And we were almost getting ready to get going, because I had a countdown in my ear then. And I don't mean Europe with the final countdown. I meant the actual timer going down then. So I'm not sure what the hold up is at the moment, but hopefully this won't be too long, because yeah, it's getting on now, and I need my beauty sleep. So hopefully we could just get going and we'll get going in just a few minutes' time. And yep. Anyway, so let's carry on with the yeah. So in terms of next year, it'll be fun. But to be honest, I'm not really too concerned about next year. I'm more concerned about here and now. And like you just said, people are not watching because they're waiting for Nose to get ready. It's stupid. And well, to be honest, I'm not. Yeah, but I haven't said that. We got 15 people watching, so I kind of take that offensive. Actually, if no one wants to watch me talk about my love for Formula One, then well, oh well. Well, I'm not offended at all. Yeah. Anyway, Nigel also asked, what are we waiting for? Well, we are just we will be ready in momentarily, and we will be ready momentarily. So yeah, just hold on to your horses, everyone. It shouldn't be too long now. Uh-oh, someone just said Arch Ginger. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Anyway, yeah, let's just take a look at the track layout there. Of course, the track difficulty has been labelled as easy. I think that's a bit unfair, really. I don't think it's easy at all. The thing is, I suppose it's easy if you want to go around it slowly, but if you want to nail a lap like William just nailed, then I think that it was anything but easy. That was on the edge, wasn't it? That was a pleasure that looked like, and I really would have enjoyed. I really would have enjoyed that one more. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we got 19 turns around this magnificent Spa Francorchamps circuit, 4.3 miles long. Luckily, I didn't do this in the beginning, so I'm glad I get to see this now. Lap record has been absolutely smashed by 3 seconds from which was Valtteri Bottas in 2018. So William has just absolutely smashed it on down to 1:43. It's a fantastic time there from William, isn't it? And yeah. Brilliant out there from William. I was lost for words. It was absolutely fantastic stuff indeed, wasn't it? And so then, whilst we're waiting, then let's just take a quick look and see what's occurring in this season. Then, in terms of some of the stats, then, well, the most wins I think this season does go to Emerson. He has got 3 wins so far this season, so fantastic from Emerson. He come in and he absolutely blew the opposition away. Farf is second on 2 wins with Dan Lieutenant as well, who's on 2 as well. Lieutenant has done a similar thing to Emerson there. Fantastic stuff, wasn't it? And of course, we've got a lot of people on 1 win. So John for Cox, we've got Granty Boy on a win, we've got Fireshot on a win, we've also got Nigel on a win as well, and Silent Shifter. Silent Shifter has also decided to, unfortunately, you might notice he's not in the Williams anymore. He is he's decided to take a sabbatical, which is a bit of a shame, really, because Silent Shifter does have some pace as well, which is a big blow, really. And so we've gone through the wins then, luckily. Of course, we've also got to commend the most starts so far, which is Farf, who's been ever present in all 12 races. Fantastic for Farf. And John for Cox has been in all 12 races as well. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then next man who's too many who've been in who've been ever present as well is Dan Murphy and Nosey, but Nosey is now going to take a back seat and is now a race director as well. So Nosey then using experience in the well, I think Nosey's actually got 10 occurrences actually, but yeah. So Nosey then has decided to take a step back and be the race director. So he's basically like Michael Massey. And anyway, you can see that we're all loaded up now and we're all ready to go then. And I've now got back into position. As Grant said, keep chatting, Sean. It will load up. So yeah, and we're finally here. We are finally ready to go then here in Belgium. As you can see, then the pit lane is looking ever cracking as well. We've got overcast conditions. The conditions should be similar to how they were in the race setting. Everyone will be on the same grid spot. No setup changes, I don't believe, because yeah, that's kind of really that would really give a lot of people an advantage, won't they? Tristan just said, "Go John, go John Cox." And now we're just ready. As you can see, the session is counted down now then. and we are going to be ready to get racing in just a few moments' time. And of course, Tristan reckons that John Cox will be going win number 2, won't he? Which will elevate him to joint second in the wins list this season. Of course, the man who is with Farf and Jonathan Luton, of course, Lutinian. Of course, Farf's got 2 wins as well. Of course, Emerson is the man with 3 so far. I tell you what, this season's been absolutely cracking, hasn't it? No, we think that people have got momentum, and then next thing you know, it's completely changed again, isn't it? We got 20 cars, 22 laps around this magnificent Belgian Grand Prix circuit, and we are off for the formation lap, not for the race. I know I start coughing. Excellent stuff. Yeah, Tristan reckons T1 and we're just going crazy. I'm thinking, to be honest, I absolutely agree with you as well. Of course, said we're really looking forward to this as well. You can see then we've got an awful lot of tyre strategy, haven't we, out there at the moment? We've got a lot of yellow, we've got a bit of red and a bit of white. So let's elaborate on what I mean by that. So we got hard tyres for Granty and for Exile. Of course, no surprise with Granty going on the hard tyres. We've got these soft tyres then for Stringy, Elite, Renzo, Sam and Grillsy. Looking forward to seeing them charge through the field like a hot knife through butter. And the rest are all on the medium compound tyres. Let's go through the grid, shall we? And remind us of the start of the starting order. William, in his debut, is on pole position. A fantastic time. He's snatched it away from Farf right at the death there. Farf is alongside him on row 1. Can he get himself? He's had some difficult races, hasn't he? Farf has. But this is an opportunity to really close up, really get himself back in the championship hunt, isn't it? Well, Emerson is only 3rd position, so at the moment he will only take 3 points out of Emerson. But Emerson is higher up than he's been for a while, so can he keep himself on the straight and narrow? Nigel is in 4th position at the moment. Of course, the season 1 champion Nigel is. He is in 4th position. It's great to see him back up there as well. Murphy is in 5th position. This season he's absolutely leaked up, hasn't he? Really good stuff as well. Maxi, his best qualifying performance of his career, and he's in 6th. Well, Jonathan Cox down in 7th. Can he respond then in the racing point? Fisher is 8th position. He would have been with a shout of pole position if he got around. Unfortunately, Stio is in 9th position and making his return. Good to see him there. Roscoe is in 10th position, making his debut. I wonder how he's going to be feeling. Really going to be interested indeed there, isn't it? 11th position is Stringy in the McLaren. 12th position is Mr. Elite. 13th position is Crazy Hitman. 14th is Renzo. Sam is in 15th. Grillsy in 16th. Qualifying bomb, but starting 16th. Well done to Grillsy. Obviously that was very tactical there. Grillsy knew that the qualifying was going to be absolutely spectacular. Exile 17th position. Far Shot is in 18th position. With 19th is Granty and 20th position is Laggy. 20 cars around this magnificent Spa-Francorchamps solar circuit, and look at this in the Ardennes Forest. We are about to get racing here in Belgium. Then this is a cracking view. Right then, here we go then. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it is go now. And oh no, it'll be going in a minute as the lights have gone out, but there's no one home. As you can see that we've got a bit of a delayed start. As and now we're going, and it is going, and you can see we've got a Exile jumping up quite nice as well. William has got the inside line, but Farf is going on the outside. He's challenging on the outside. They're going side by side then, and you can see then we have got all cars are just about through. William is still in the lead. Then Grant, he's dropped down to last position, and now they're coming up to Rouge. And then look at this, and we got a 3-car volley. Williams has got one. Then he's under a lot of pressure at the moment. Yellow flag in one because that's a big old smash, a big smash indeed. That is Renzo, Fire Shot, and a Mercedes. There's Fisher as well. Fisher once again involved in first corner mayhem, and we have got Fire Shot and Fisher involved as well. That was a big smash there, big smash. And yellow flag in one. Emerson is leading. Second is Williams. So he had Costello. Farfus having the second one as well. Farfus all over the back of Emerson as they come down into turn 7 then, and you can see Williams has gone from first to third then. Here, and look at this. Nigel's Williams is in the wall. He's in the wall with the McLaren. He is in the wall again. That's a big blow. That's a big smash there for the McLaren driver. Yellow flag in 2. He's just trying to get out of the way there. That is a huge smash there. That's also a Mercedes going off the track there. Sam as well. It's a Granty there. Is getting by them. That is a big smash there. We also seen a bit of more common fibre. Emerson leads the Belgian Grand Prix. Nigel's in third position at the moment then. As at 4th is Jonathan Cox. 5th is Maxi. Dan is in 6th position. String is in 7th. Steo's in 8th position at the moment. Oh, Theo going, and we've also got problems there because Maxi here is, Jonathan Cox has dropped down a position. He has gone wide. Oh my gosh, that's a huge accident. That's the Renault. Maxi off, and Maxi is out at this Belgium Grand Prix. Is that a safety car? Oh, and Sam almost in the wall as well. That is a smash and a half. And we have lost 2 drivers already. We've lost Grillsy. We have lost Maxi as well in this, well, what a start to the Belgium Grand Prix. And so we're coming for the complete lap 1 then. And we're going to have a lot of pit activities as well, isn't it? So as Emerson leads, 2nd position is far. 3rd position is Nigel. 4th is Jonathan Cox there. 5th position then is Murphy. And Elite is up to 6th position. That is an incredible start there from Mr. Elite. 7th position is Theo. 8th position is Stringy. 9th position is Crazy. 10th position is Roscoe. 11th is XR. 12th position is Granty though, just making his way up quite calmly. 13th is Laggy. 14th then. So who's in the pits then? Renzo's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits then. We got all sorts in there. So here's the pole sitter who in the corner, no name, had issues there, and what tires are going to go on then. The biggest winner and all that, I think it's Granty up 7, Unlaggy up 7 as well. You can see then, so we're on medium tires then for him, and Sam is out of the pits 1st and 14th, William 15th, Farshot 16th, Renzo 17th, once again Fisher involved in first corner mayhem in 18th position in the Mercedes then. Wow, what a start then here in Belgium then. Now, we've had 2 major accidents so far in this race. As Todd just said, good luck to all drivers. Wow, unfortunately we've lost Maxi and Grillsy already in this race, and you can see then this is the battle for lead. Farf, can he these 2, Emerson on 3 wins, Farf is on 2 wins. There are 17 points to separate these 2 in the championship. This is going to get very tight, very tasty indeed then in the the beginning of this race. And Nigel sitting comfortably in 3rd, Jonathan Cox in 4th position. He's really struggling with his setup, isn't he? But he's 4th at the moment, so that's good damage limitation at the moment. Murphy is looking hungry in 5th position now at the moment. We have lost Renzo. Renzo is out of the race, and we're on board with Fisher now. Where's Renzo? Oh, it's in Lake Com again. So Lake Com is having an awful problem at the moment, isn't he? Granty is now over to 11th position. He is flying through the field, isn't he? He loves coming from the back of the field. Him and Farr are really good coming from the back of the field, isn't they? Crazy Hitman has got a 3-second penalty as they come up then to the going up to the bus stop chicane then, and through to complete lap 2 then. This is lap, so we're on lap 3 then. On board Roscoe at the moment then, of course, making his debut, the Scotsman at the moment. He is in at 10th position. He's having a look at Crazy Hitman, not quite at the moment. I think Roscoe will be happy to get some, of course, what's his aim there? It's going to be points. And yellow flag and free because Renzo's out of the Farshot is out of the race, and Farshot is out of the race as well. We're on board then with Farshot and the Haas. Sorry, we're on board, and that is out of Paul Ferrer, I think it is. It is. That was the big old smash earlier on, and he must have misjudged it and gone into the pits then. And now then as they come up there, look at this. We got 3 abreast up at the Kennel Straight. On board the Crazy Man Granty takes at 9th position now, and who is going to be in 10th position? Farshot is left for session. Crazy Man is up to 7th position. XR 11th. 12th position is Roscoe. Roscoe's dropped down a couple positions there as well, with Sam and William battling for 14th and 15th position at the moment. And now Emerson is now starting to pull away slightly from far from it's up to 8/10 of a second, and then of course Jonathan Cox is 2 seconds back at the moment. Murphy 5th, 6th position is Stringy, great stuff from Stringy. Then 7th position is at Steo, 8th is Granty, and Stringy who's gone wide there. He's got a 3-second penalty, a bit harsher. And you can see them, we've got Williams and Steo in 8th position, Granty in 9th position, 10th position is Crazy Hitman, both Toros is 11th, 12th. Remember they're leading the constructors at the moment, and they've got William in 13th position, Sam in 14th, and Fisher in 16th and 15th for the Mercedes driver. Lost out of the race is Farshot, is Renzo, is Maxi and Grillsy. That's a big blow then for those guys, and they're out of the race already in this race. And Farshot has just gone rah. So I think that's a bit of frustration then for Farshot. They're on board with Murphy then as he's having another look at Jonathan Cox then. Jonathan Cox has gone very deep there, hasn't he? And that is going to Jonathan Cox, got a 3-second penalty as well. Look at this, he's going to have no purchase there. And I think he's just giving a wide berth and letting Murphy by then. Roscoe's also got a 3-second penalty as well in that 12th position. Oh! I'm not sure if he got out of shape or Jonathan Cox did, or did he have a tap? I'm not sure from that one, but you see now Stringy is all over the back of him. Stringy there once again he's showing, so he's got some really good pace, hasn't he, in this McLaren. And you can see, look at all the debris up at the top of Radion there, and you can see back on board then with Stringy. He's gaining again. Now has Murphy got the pace to get out of the front 3? That's the question. Now he's got a 3-second penalty coming up to Lacom now. Stringy's up the inside. Oh, and Jonathan Cox there, not giving him much room there. And Stringy there, there's damage. I don't think there's any damage at the moment then. And Mr. Elite is a second behind at the moment at this stage of the race. Then lap 4 out of 22. Race order: Emerson is leading. Remember, he hasn't won a race since Canada. Can he put that to bed? Firefountain led won a race since back in Bahrain, but he is second at the moment. That's great to see Farf back up there. Nigel in third. Fourth position is Murphy. Fifth is Jonathan. Street in sixth position. Street's gone wide again. He lights that line, doesn't he? Elite seventh. Eighth is Theo. Ninth is Granty, and 10th position is Exile at the moment. Wow, great stuff indeed. Roscoe on board now. He is just hanging on to the back of Crazy Hitman at the moment. Of course, Laggy in 13th position. Then we've got a half a minute gap to our pole sitter, who unfortunately didn't go well for a pole sitter, did it? And he's dropped down to 40th position. Seems like pole position is a bit of a bad omen in this season so far. And now Roscoe then is coming up then to the back of Crazy Hitman now. You can see he's gaining, and let's see what he's going to do as he comes up to the bus stop chicane. And what is he going to do? He can't go the inside end to the bus stop chicane. Crazy Hitman is staying on the racing line, and fine, good. Oh, Crazy Hitman's gone very wide there, similar to what Jonathan Cox did. Is he going to be? He's giving him room. He gives him room. That's very gentlemanly of Crazy Hitman. And Roscoe is down, is up into 11th position. 12th position is Crazy Hitman. Then is he going to have a lunge? No. Roscoe is through and up into 11th position. Then can he now catch up on his teammate? Has he got the pace then? And Stringy is still behind Jonathan Cox at the moment. Starting to spread out now at the moment. Emerson is leading, and he hasn't led a race for a while, has he? Grant has got a 3-second penalty in 9th position. Look at Stringy, he's got a lot of pace, hasn't he, in that McLaren? He flies by and up into 5th position, and Jonathan Cox has dropped down to 6th then. Really struggling with the car, isn't he? Hasn't got the setup, has he? Crazy Hitman and Roscoe are battling away. This is a great old battle, isn't it, between 11th and 12th position. Oh, Crazy Hitman is going to go over the sleeping policeman. He has going to go over the sleeping policeman, and unfortunately, after all that hard work, he has now dropped back down to 12th position and at this moment in time. Oh, look at this. Mr. Elite has got a bit of issues at the moment. Those soft compound tires are struggling, aren't they? And, well, they're definitely struggling on Mr. Elite's car, isn't it? Because they've got a bit of a queue behind him. We got Steo's on the medium tires and hard tires for Granty. So Granty's gone from 19th on the grid to 9th in the space of 5 laps. So incredible stuff, then, in this Belgian Grand Prix, then. The gap at the front is 1.7 seconds, and then Nigel is in 2nd position. I thought, that's what I was looking at the tower, and I thought that Theo lost the back end there, and you can see he's gone very wide there, hasn't he? He's going to lose a lot of momentum now. We're on board with Granty. Let's see how much time Crazy Hitman's got a 3-second penalty there. Penalties are quite brutal, aren't they, around here? We say that on a lot of tracks, don't we? But yeah, if you go wide, then if you go wide on some of these corners, you will get penalties, won't you? Theo is now feeling a bit of the pressure. He can feel that hot air, which I think is and Theo they're braking a lot later than Mr. Elite. Mr. Elite then is on the soft compound tires. So with the moment we've had Williams, Sam and Fisher all in the pits, and Fisher's on the hard tire. Is he going to be able to go to the end then? And Jonathan Cox and Stringer having a good old scrap here for 5th and 6th at the moment. Jonathan Cox, of course, on the form of his life at the moment, isn't he? Can he salvage something from the Belgian Grand Prix? Because he's really struggling at this moment in time. You can see those Ferrari just gone up the hill there. Laggy and Crazy are also battling as well. Jonathan Cox has gone a bit wide there, but he keeps it on the straight and narrow. Now he's going down the Kemmel straight then. You can see he's alongside. He is through, and up into 5th position. Then Stringer's going to come back in, and then we got to battle behind between Steve, who is in front of Mr. Elite, and up into 7th position. Can Grant to get by as well. Also, we've got a good old scrap here between Laggy and Crazy Hitman for 12th and 13th position at the moment then. Oh, and Laggy there, if it's got damage to the front wing there, I think he damaged it before. So yeah, problem for Laggy Racer in the Ferrari then. Ooh, so then, as it stands then, and as you can see, they're starting to get spread out now slightly, isn't it? And Nigel's trying to keep up with the pace of the front. Murphy is 3 seconds back in the Ferrari. Jonathan is back up into 5th position, but Stringy is holding on. Then we've got Granty and Mr. Elite, who battling for 8th and 9th at the moment. Excuse me. Yeah. So then there's Mr. Elite is really struggling, isn't he? He's really struggling with the grip on those soft tires in the Alfa Romeo. His teammate is in 3rd position at the moment. Alfa Romeo are going to get some good points here at the moment as it stands, but there's a long way to go, isn't there? And anything can happen in this race. So you can see now Grant is now going to go. Oh my god, he's going to go on the outside. He is going on the outside. Look at this, he's on the grass. He is. Oh, Mr. Elite is gone. Is he gone? He is gone. He's in the wall. Mr. Elite is. And oh dear, he was struggling with grip, wasn't he? And he's going to have to come into the pits. He has damaged his car. He's going to have to get a new nose cone on that Alfa Romeo. He is in the pits now. Look how tight it is there. And so he's in the pits, and I think he might need to come in anyway, but So Mr. Elite then is dropping down the order on the soft compound tyres. Looks like the soft tyres was probably not the right way to go and to tackle this Grand Prix circuit. And now he's in the pit and he's on the hard compound tyre, and he will be getting ready soon. Well, no, he's getting ready now, and he's out of the pits now. And Laggy Race got 3-second penalty for him. He's also got damaged end plate as well. No, I think that battle might start to cool down now then. So this is a close battle on track at the moment, and that's the battle between Granty and Stio. Granty's having a fantastic race again, isn't he? He's the hard tire specialist, isn't he? In the Renault. He's doing a fantastic job as well. Of course, Stio, of course, making his return, isn't he, to full time then to ALR in the Williams. He's replacing Silent Shifting, unfortunately, as he's decided to take more of a backseat role and just be a reserve driver for the time being, and he is struggling with form, isn't he, at the moment, Silent Shifting. But hopefully we'll see him back in the car very soon. Whether it's Williams, whether it's someone else, we do not know, but at the moment then it's Stia who is driving that Williams full time, and it's great to see him back in. Of course, as I said before, this will be his 8th race now, so he's a very experienced driver in ALR. And but the Granty, of course, then, who's been there since it made his debut. Of course, Granty made his debut in the opening round of this season. He's technically a rookie, hasn't he? But he is challenging, isn't he? He's challenging rather, though. Emerson is now leading out in front by 1.5 seconds. Emerson is now really starting to well, he ain't putting away as much, is he, between himself and Farf. It's a great old battle between himself and Farf at the moment at the top. He's really enjoying it. In the background, then we've got the two Toro Rossos that are now going to start to lock horns as well. And you can see we've got a lot of penalties flashed up down the bottom at the moment, haven't we? So as you can see, then you can see it's very, very grey overhead, isn't it? We did hear a yellow flag in 2 and 3, and I think Sam is out. Sam is out. That's his first retirement since Monaco. Sam is. So that's a shame there for Sam. He's dropped from 15th then out of the race. Oh, excuse me again. So that's a shame there for Sam then. And you see then Crazy Hitman is now under a lot of pressure, because also under a lot of pressure is that Granty's now up into 7th position, and now Crazy Hitman and Laggy going side by side up the Camel Straight. Remember, this could be a battle for points very soon, because they're just outside the points above. Where are they? There they are. Laggy is through and up into 11th position. Crazy Hitman has dropped down to 12th. Rosgood couldn't manage to get by his teammate at the moment in the battle for 9th and 10th. Granty is now up into 7th position. Has he got the speed then? He is the highest of the hard compound runners. As it stands, he will take the lead of the race when the medium tyre runners come in. So when are they going to come in the pits? I presume it's going to be a one-stop strategy, isn't it? So it's a Max's after session as well. Of course, he retired earlier on. We've lost 5 cars already in the Belgium Grand Prix. This one is a bit of a car breaker. So yeah, you've got to really be on your toes. And Jonathan Cox has now really started to get the hammer down now. So he has put his setup issues to one side, and it's now started to really hone in, hasn't he, on the Ferrari as well. So Jonathan Cox there is now going to cause Samus after session as well, and Jonathan might start to cause Murphy some issues later on. 2.1 seconds the gap is at the front now between Emerson and Farf. We got Nigel in 3rd position. He is 4 seconds back. And Murphy is really keeping Nigel on at the moment, and then also keeping Branches just at the fast on race. That is he is going to be a threat later on in this race, isn't he? And that is definitely going to. I think that's going to give Emerson. That's going to definitely give Emerson some attention, isn't it? Let's just take a look at the interval between himself and leader. It's only 14 seconds. Only 14 seconds then. That is still quite a big margin. But I tell you something. I think that this man Granty is going to definitely be within a shout later on in this race, isn't he? As I've done all sorts going on here. I'm wondering if he might be. Remember, we did hear about rain, so I'm wondering how long he's going to take before the rain. We got a magnificent battle between Laggy and Crazy in the battle for 11th and 12th position. And once again, then Crazy Hitman is through and back up into 11th position. So good stuff there from Crazy Hitman and Laggy. This is a great old scrap, isn't it? Between two drivers. Called Crazy Hitman getting his first points of the season last time out in Hungary. Can he keep up the momentum? Then that's the question at the moment, isn't it? As there we go. Oh, Crazy Hitman's in the wall. He hasn't damaged his car. That car is made out of steel in Milton Keynes there. Good stuff indeed then. So Mr. Elite is in the pits, and he has put on the hard tyres, hasn't he? So he is now on the He's there, he's out in the hard tires, and William is now behind him. He's on the medium tires. William, of course, the pole sitter. Unfortunately, it all went a bit wrong on the opening couple of laps, didn't it? So William is now dropped down into 14th position. This is a great old battle. Listen to the two Crazy Hitman and Laggy in the battle for 11th and 12th. You can see, oh, Crazy Hitman's got wide. That's going to allow Laggy through. It is allowed Laggy through. Crazy Hitman has dropped down to 12th position, and Laggy is back through. This is going to be a race love battle, isn't it? I feel. Excuse me. Yeah, I need to find the mute button on this mic or something. I'm sure it hasn't, but I'm too scared to press any buttons because I might break it. Crazy Hitman is now all over the back of Laggy Racer again. Laggy Racer doing a good job, and William is out of the race. And that's of course on his debut here today. He started off so well, didn't he, and got pole position, but then it just all fell apart. Roscoe's in the pits then. Roscoe's in the pits. There is William there, out of Paul Frere. He is out of the race. Roscoe in the pits. He's on the hard compound tire. That should get him to the end now. So I think that's almost perfect. That's very much a perfect pit stop territory there. I think the question is though, look at the debris at the top of Radio there. And I think the question would be on a lot of these drivers' minds is about the weather, isn't it? Because we were informed in qualifying about it might have a sprinkle of rain towards the end. Jonathan Cox didn't think it was going to come until later on. This is a great battle. And now then, is he going to have the inside? No, not quite. I think Crazy Hitman did something that Rosberg should have done back in 2014. He pulled out of that move there, and he because otherwise that would have been contact there, wouldn't it? So Crazy Hitman there. This is the battle for points now, isn't it, as well? Oh, yeah, flagging too because String is off, and oh my gosh, and somehow avoiding the cars come through then. Oh, those soft tires have probably screamed enough, haven't they, on Stringy's car, and he has dropped down to 9th then, so that's a shame there for Stringy. And you can see a lot of cars are now struggling, aren't they? We've lost 6 cars in this race. This race has been a breaker, isn't it? Jonathan Cox is now all over the back. Well, he's not all over the back yet, is he? But he will be. Well, he is matching Murphy, isn't he, in the battle for 4th and 5th. But Jonathan Cox is now under a second. Emerson is in the pits. So Emerson is in the pits. Farf carries on. Murphy and everyone else carries on. Emerson in the pits. Dead on half distance here. So he is... So I think there he is just split the race out. Lovely shot of the Haas car. He is in and out. Granty goes through as well. Granty, of course, has done 10 laps. I wonder if Granty's going to try and put on the soft tires towards the end then of this race. Then we've also got Laggy Racer, Crazy Hitman. They're on an absolutely brilliant battle, isn't they, between these two? This is a joy to watch, isn't it, between these two? These are battling for the final points at the moment, and Stringy's in the pits. He's on the medium tire going to the end then. So Stringy now going from soft to medium there at the moment. So I think the preferred strategy is probably the medium to hard at the moment, isn't it? Because that definitely seems to be the better way to tackle this race as it stands at the moment. Back on board there with Crazy Hitman going. Oh, he's got a 3-second penalty there for not taking Radion in the correct way. Exile is now all over the back of Stio as well, and Stio is also all over the back of Emerson, who's just come out of the pits, just trying to warm up his tyres. Jonathan Cox said, I think is the next one to keep an eye on, because he is starting to match, isn't he, Murphy then? So the longer this race goes on, the stronger Jonathan's going to be, by the looks of this, isn't he? Because he's really starting to pick up some pace now. Ooh. 4 seconds to go between not Farf and Nigel at the moment. So Farf is. I wonder what Farf is going to do. Is he going to try and do alternative strategy, or is he going to match? Is he going to match Emerson's time in terms of just coming in the pits and going on the hard combat time? We're going to find out on this lap, and we got some good old battles up and down the field at the moment, haven't we? We'll just see if the mechanics around the pits. What is Farf going to do? Is there? I think the question is about Ray. Farf is staying out, so Farf is staying out. Also staying out is Nigel. So these guys are staying out. This is interesting. So is Murphy. So is Jonathan. Granty is also on the hard tire as well. So he's keeping his options open. William has left the session, unfortunately. Of course, as he crashed out of Paul Frere, unfortunately. And you see them on board of Exile. This is the battle for 7th and 8th position at the moment. Of course, Exile is on 11-lap old hard tyres, isn't he, in the Toro Rosso, going for the longer first stint, similar to Granty. Crazy Hitman has been a long way around somewhere. He's got a 10-second penalty. I wonder if I might be a bit harsh there. Stringy is now all over the back of Roscoe. This is the battle for 11th and 12th position. DR is enabled then, and Roscoe is going to have to defend, I think. isn't he? As going into last source, we're on board with Stringy going on the outside. He's going to go the old switcheroo, is he? So Roscoe there. We got a battle up front there as well. Where are they? There they are. They're coming to Lakecom. Great move there from Exile. He takes 7th position away from the street, away from Stio. A good battle there. Crazy's out. Crazy Man's out. And that's a big smash there at the top of the hill, at the top of Radion. Crazy Man is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. Oh, what a shame there. And once again, this car, I think this race is safety car proof, isn't it? And Crazy Man's out. That is our 7th retirement this race. So Fisher could potentially get some points here if he just keeps going. It's been a very difficult race, hasn't it, for several drivers out there. And wow, we have lost Grillsy, we've lost Maxi, we've lost Renzo, Fireshot, Sam, William, and also Crazy Hitman just out as well. Fisher, of course, has been struggling to come back from the field after the difficult opening lap. He's on the hard compound tyres. Mr. Elite is down in 12th position. The soft tyres just didn't agree with him. Stringy is now back up to 10th, and Laggy is still on the medium tyres in 11th position. Sorry, 9th position. He's done 11 laps. Stio is also on the sub-medium tyres. He is still staying out as well. So the only one that coming in the pits at the moment is Emerson, but Emerson coming in first then. So he feels that the undercut is definitely the way to go, but all the other guys are just staying out of the moment. This is really interesting. So I'm loving this. This is a strategy race, isn't it? Who's going to do what then? And Emerson just sets the fastest up for the race on the hard compound tyre. Radio just asked, what is the interval from Emerson to Farf, as Emerson is soon to be caught up, be held up. So let's see if it goes up or down. Yeah, definitely we'll keep an eye on that as well, as Rainer has just mentioned there. So we'll keep an eye on the interval between Emerson and Farf. Then that is when Emerson will catch up to the back end of Granty. He's 2 seconds away from Grant at the moment. So I think that is going to be the next thing we're going to be taking a look at in just a short while now. Farf is really extending his lead out there, isn't he? He is starting to really put the hammer down now. I've got to say the pace difference between Emerson and Granty is not as big as what you expect really on the fresh tyres, is it? Because remember, I wonder if these guys are just hanging out there for the wet tyres to come in, for the wet weather to come in. That is going to be very interesting indeed, isn't it? And we've got an old friend of the channel. We've got a yellow flag in. We've got a yellow flag in 2 somewhere. I'm not sure. Well, whatever it was, it's gone now. But as Crazy's left the session, all of Jonathan Cox is now all over the back of Murphy. We got an old friend of ALR who has just put his 2 pence worth in, and that's Twan. Of course, Twan, who had a great start to the season. Unfortunately, he had to give up his Mercedes seat, didn't he? But he was having a fantastic start to the season, wasn't he? He was having podiums. He was flying out there. He was very consistent. He could be in. He would have been in a chance of this championship as well. Oh, and look, they're all coming in the pits then. And he's got a 3-second penalty. Jonathan Cox has for a late call. So we got a. So all of them are coming in the pits, and Granty is staying out there. What tyres is going to go? Farf is in the pits. Oh no, he's going to get held up. He is getting held up. This is appalling for Farf. Oh no, Farf is having awful problems there. And that is a major blow there for Farf. He's probably lost a couple of seconds there, because look, he's even lost out to Nigel as well. He's lost out to Nigel as well then. So Farf there is that the pit stops is not going well at all for Farf. Look at him, he's pushing Nigel out of the pit lane, and now they accelerate down there, now they accelerate away. 2.1 seconds separates Granty Boy and Emerson at the moment. It's looking very strong indeed, isn't it, at the moment? And Ron Boyer Farpen, you can see he's got DRS, and he wants to get that position back as quickly as possible, doesn't he? And Exile's also in front of Laggy Racer as well. He's going through. Farfen's up the outside, coming up to Lake Calm. He goes through. Yes, he is through, and he's up into 5th position then. Of course, then wow, absolutely fantastic stuff. I know what Twan has said. There he says he's back in 2 races, so that's great to hear from the Twan there. Of course, we missed Twan. Of course, we had him in the commentary box, didn't we? In ALR or HR's second ever race, which was ALR, which was actually HR, wasn't it? Back in the first season. Of course, in the second ever race, didn't we? So it was great to have Twan in the commentary box that day. Really good laugh that was. Anyway, back on board then with Farf at the moment. His notes is just even put yes, Twan. And we've got 8 laps to go. This is the question now. Let's just take a quick look then at the leader on board then with Farf. He's on the soft compound tyres. He's 11.2 seconds. Remember that time, 11.2 seconds. As Roscoe is in front of Stringy and up into 9th position. So Roscoe is really starting to. We're starting to put the hammer down now, isn't he? So it's 11.2 seconds. Keep an eye on that time, because remember, Everyone has gone completely different ways, haven't they? It's great to see, isn't it, as of who does what. Granty is still out there on the hard compound tyres mode. Into the pits, then comes Theo, so he's in a lap later than everyone else. So let's see what he does as well. Granty boy leads by 1.9 seconds away from Emerson, who is second, who is 2 seconds back at the moment. And well, to be honest, I was actually looking at the wrong time, wasn't I? So excuse me. You can see then. So yeah, it's about 9 seconds the gap is away, isn't it? Farfetch from Emerson. Is that doable, do you reckon? It's going to be, well, it's going to be a tough ask, isn't it? Because Emerson is not a slow driver by any stretch of the imagination. Nigel there is still behind, of course, Farf had an appalling pit stop, didn't he? And now Nigel is really trying to sink his teeth, isn't he, into Farf. He's going to go on the outside to late calm. Farf, is he going? Oh, this is great racing. Oh, there's contact, and Farf is still hanging on the inside, and Nigel's out, it's now in the 4th position. Fantastic racing. Is that damage to Farf's car? It looks fine. The car looks fine then. Brilliant stuff there from brilliant stuff. Great racing from both those guys there. Nigel is now back up in the 4th position. Murphy is still being touching distance as well, as is Jonathan Cox. They've all gone the soft compound tyres. This is intriguing, isn't it? Around Spa, and they've all gone to the faster compound tyre to see how well they do. Granty there is still 1.5 seconds in front. Those hard tyres are hanging on very nice indeed. Is these soft tyres going to hang on that long? That is the question, isn't it? And we've seen that Stringy struggle with the soft tyres towards the end there. Fisher's moved up to 11th position now. Of course, he's having a long old race, isn't he? In the Mercedes, because Farfetch had a great run out of Paul Frere, and he is back up into 4th position. Nigel's dropped back down to 5th position then in the Alfa Romeo. Look, there's in the background. Where's Jonathan Cox gone? Oh, he's still there. I thought that Jonathan just disappeared off there. Granty is in the pits. So Granty is in the pits. He's on a great recovery drive once again. Granty has. Also in the pits is Exile as well. They're surely going to have to go on the soft tyres, aren't they? Yep, you can see Exile's in the pits there as well. Murphy has set the fast lap of the race, and this race is now starting to really ramp up then. Let's take a look at what is the interval then between Emerson and Farf. It is 9 seconds still. So the gap hasn't changed much then. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. And where does Granty come out? Granty's out in 6th position. 7th position is it's Exile. Exile's done a great job. Exile's out in 7th position. Good stuff there. CEO Nathan Roscoe in 9th position. I've cut away too quickly there because look at this. And Nigel is now back up in the 2nd position. Nigel is really come alive and in the last 2 races. He is really strong, isn't he? Nigel is all of a sudden, and it's great to see the Season 1 champion back up and fighting. This is fantastic racing. And Twice just said that you guys make sure there's a seat free. And he's also said, who do you say is the best position for the win at the moment? Well, that's a very tough call, isn't it? It's down to 8.6 seconds at the moment. Emerson, it's got the hard tyres on, hasn't he? He doesn't have to stop again. Of course, none of these guys have to stop again. Everyone has stopped at least once and have fitted the mandatory two types of tyre option. So so they can go to anyone can go to the end of the race if they really wanted to. The question is though, is these soft tyres going to be able to give them enough purchase, enough grip to be able to catch Emerson with just 6 laps to go? I think Emerson might have thrown a master stroke here, haven't they, in terms of because these guys are battling away, and because they're battling away, they're letting Emerson go, aren't they? Emerson's going for his 4th win of ALR, and tell you what, this is a very good very good return to form, isn't it, from Emerson's point of view? But this is a cracking race. Dan Murphy's got a 3-second penalty. I love that they're all over the back of each other. Murphy is trying to go for it now. Murphy is trying to go over the 3rd position then as they come across the line. Then they're going up to late source. To last source now, and look, Murphy is on the inside then. Farf is getting with enough room now, and now this is going to be a great battle going up the hill, isn't it? CEO's up in 7th position. He's in front of Exile then. We're going to stay with this battle here for 4th position. This is a fantastic battle. Jonathan Cox just in the background. So here they come then, up into Eau Rouge and into Radion then. Farf is all over the back of Nigel, and also Jonathan Cox all over the back of Dan Murphy as well. Now they're coming up to the Camel Straight then. Look at this, they're side by side. Farf is through and up into 2nd position then. Is Nigel going to come back at him? No, not quite. What about Dan Murphy and Jonathan Cox? They were just seen in the background there. Jonathan Cox has gone wide. He is having a look. No, not quite. And Jonathan Cox there remains in 5th position. Murphy still in 4th position at the moment then. Oh, great stuff then. 8 seconds. It's gone up. It's gone up. Stringy's at the fast half of the race. So Stringy, unfortunately, is not in the points at the moment. So he will not. No one's going to get that point for fast enough at the moment. So he's kind of stolen it away. This battle here is really playing into the hands of Emerson. And so I would say that Emerson definitely does have the advantage now, doesn't he, in this race? Remember that Emerson hasn't won the race since Canada. That is several races ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 races ago. Emerson hasn't won. This is an incredible way to return to form now, isn't it? And I think he is. I think he went for the safest strategy option there, didn't he? But doesn't mean. It doesn't matter, does it? Safest is usually the best, isn't it, in terms of a race win moment? Because I think that the soft tires ain't going to last that long. But who do I know? Just coming up then into the bus stop chicane right now. Then, but we got 5 more laps of this. Can Farf retain his second position? This is a great old battle between Nigel, Farf, Dan Murphy and Jonathan Cox in the background as well, and they come across the line to complete lap 17. Emerson 7.9 seconds now, and Granty Boy is just stolen the fastest lap back. Then Granty Boy keeping on his time. He might like to be involved. He would love to be involved in this scrap, won't he? As it stands at the moment, the championship will gain. I think Emerson will be extended in the championship after it was whittled down to 1 point over the past 4 or 5 races. So between Farf, between Knowlesy, between Jonathan Cox, and between Granty, they all 4 of them have been challenging, haven't they? Jonathan Cox is through. Murphy dives back on the inside. Wow, great defending there from Murphy. There, that was definitely that was the last of the late breakers there from Dan Murphy. Fantastic defending there, and in between Jonathan Cox and Dan Murphy at the moment. Then, brilliant, really good stuff so far in this Belgium Grand Prix. We've only got 4 laps to go here, haven't we? It's of course, because it's such a long circuit, we only have 22 laps around here, but it's still a long old race, isn't it? But this race is flying by, isn't it? Look at the retirements in this race. This has probably been the most of the season, hasn't it? Only 13 cars left. Fisher now has just made his stop and is on the soft tires now, so he's going to be gaining on Laggy Racer. Laggy's home race hasn't gone too well, has it, for him, unfortunately. Murphy is outside DRS zone of Nigel and Nigel and Farf are now starting to pull away, but we're keeping the focus on this battle here between Jonathan Cox and Dan Murphy, and the battle for 4th and 5th position going through Blanchimont now then. And let's just take a quick look at the race order then, as we're on lap 18 out of 22. It is still Emerson leading, still Farf in second, still Nigel in third, 4th is Murphy, 5th is Jonathan, 6th is Granty Boy. That is an incredibly talented field, isn't it, with top 6. Exile, brilliant drive in 7th position as well, once again. It's Studio 8 with Roscoe in 9th position, 10th position is Mr. Elite, 11th is Stringy, 12th position is Laggy, and in 13th position is Fisher. Those are the only racers left in this race, in this incredible Belgian Grand Prix then. Farfer's got a 3-second penalty then. That is not going to happen at all, is it? I can't remember if Nigel's got a penalty here, to be honest. That is why, yeah. Anyway, we won't bet on me because we're talking about the on-track action then. Nigel is through and back up into 2nd position. What about Jonathan? And you can see in the background, there's a flash of yellow there, wasn't it? That was not lightning. That is Granty Boy. He is coming up behind now. He's only 2.4 seconds away from these battle here. Look, there he is on the background. Granty has got 2 laps younger tires than these guys as well. That could be the difference. Murphy's now dropping back. He is defending very hard from Jonathan Cox. He is all over the back of Murphy then as they come down into Puyol now. Let's just take a quick look then. As Twan has just said, as soon as I look down, something's going to happen, isn't it? You can see Jonathan Cox there is all over the back there with Murphy's. Oh, he's gone wide there, and look, Farf is all over the back as well. Fisher's up in the 12th position in the Mercedes, and I think Farf is now really getting he's very interested. He is more than interested. There he is through, and he is back once again through out of the Paul Frere corner. Nigel was really slow out there, isn't he, brothers? What about Jonathan Cox there, just keeping on this time there. Now Murphy is, Nigel's having to look up the inside. No go at the moment. Jonathan Cox is on the outside. He's on the outside. He's going to have the inside. He's through. And up into 4th position. Fantastic minute there from Jonathan Cox. Look at the foreground there. Farf and Nigel also bounce way there. Look, Granty is now under a second behind. Well, it's now under 2 seconds behind them. So Jonathan Cox is now up into 4th position then. And now Nigel, look in the background, and this is a great scrap here, isn't it? This is for second, third, fourth, fifth, and at sixth position will be in there as well. Yellow flag in two. We worry about that in a minute, because look at this, Nigel is now on the outside. He is through and back up through, and look, Jonathan Cox there in the background as well is also battling. Look at that, Jonathan, all great stuff. And now then, as you can see, now we've got a yellow flag in 2 and 3, and look at this, Jonathan Cox there is back down to 5th position. That great move through bus stopping, unfortunately. You get DRS, don't you? Up the Camel straight, then Grant Forces got to take penalty there. Look, there he is in the background there. What could have been if Granty Boy did qualify higher up the order there. What a shame there from the man who's second in the championship. Is he still going to be second in the championship? Maybe, I don't know. So you'll have to wait until later. Oh no, Farf is gone. Farf is gone. This is a big blow. Farf, is he kept out of the wall? He has kept him out of the wall. Oh no, but is he down? I think he kept out of the wall, but Farf pushing too hard, and that is a big blow for Farf, isn't it? What a shame from the Red Bull driver. And then so that might have let Nigel off the hook then. Now Nigel is almost 2 seconds in front of Murphy then, so the battle is now for the final podium then. Can Farf regroup and get himself back up to this ball here? Wow, Farfen, who's having such a great race. This is a great return to form now. Now 2 laps before the end, it's all gone pear-shaped. What a shame there. What a shame indeed then for Farfen. I am so hooked. It's like I'm fishing. This is incredible stuff, man. As we come into the final couple of laps, and we've got lap 21 and 22 to go here in the Belgian Grand Prix. Emerson is serenely just having a Sunday night drive in 7.5 seconds. Remember, he hasn't won for 5 races, so well done to Emerson. That's his 4th win of his career, his 4th win of the season as well, because remember, Emerson is a rookie. Incredible stuff. Nigel, and of course, we're on board with another rookie as well, Granty Boy. Of course, he started back in Australia, and he's only 1 point behind Emerson at the moment, but it's going to expand. And look at this, I don't for Cox there's going to be in trouble there. Oh no, they have crashed. That's a big smash there, and Granty there is he's got his whole wing gone. His whole wing is gone. Jonathan is letting through. I don't think Jonathan's got damage on the on the racing point, has he? And Granty's in the wall. Granty is out of the race. What a wow, what a development here at the Belgian Grand Prix, and they came together at the Kemmel Straight, and that is a major blow then in the championship as well. Granty is going to lose, and he's left the session. He is furious, and I think that that is going to have major championship implications then here in the Belgian Grand Prix. And Granty Boy, who had an absolutely outstanding race. Farf and Granty have come to blows. Well, not literally between each other, but both of them had difficulties towards the end of this race. Far from 20 out of Pouillon, and then coming together at the Kemmel Straight between Jonathan Cox and Granty as well on lap 21. Oh my gosh! And I don't think Jonathan's got any damage there, so I don't know how that racing point is built very strong, isn't it? Yeah, that's an incredible development here in Belgium, and that is going to allow Stringy into the points, and Fisher is just 11 seconds out of the points at the moment. Has he still got the pace? And can Jonathan get back up onto a podium now? So then come through to complete lap 21. We're on lap 22 then, the Belgian Grand Prix, and whilst now we have an opportunity to take stock and see what's going on then. Sorry, Twad. I've really struggled to keep up with your comments here today. As I just go back to leader there. Yes, those guys will definitely need to work together, not against each other. Yes, that's exactly right, and that's what's probably helped Emerson pull away, hasn't it? And of course, also on penalties 2-5. We've also got William saying my race was horrible, got crashed out on the start and then bottled it. What a shame for William, who on his debut got a pole position, incredible time there, snatched it away from Farf right at the end there. And of course then Twan's also said damn as well. Yeah, that was a big shame, wasn't it, really, how they came together. But Emerson is on the final lap of the Belgian Grand Prix then. I'm wondering then, as I think Twan might be right, if they worked together, Farf and Nigel and the rest of them, do you reckon they would have caught up to Emerson? It might, possible, but it doesn't. But at the end, it don't matter now, because we've had all sorts of chaos there, and we got a yellow flag in 2. Why is that? Just take a quick look around, and well, they're all still going now. As Emerson then, he is at 3 wins of his ALR career so far, and I must admit, I've noticed that we haven't had the Team Emerson team in the in the comments there. So I'm wondering if this might be a if there's a pattern going on here. Usually Emerson has all sorts of fans, don't he? But it comes out the first stop chicane for the final time, and Emerson wins his fourth Grand Prix of his career here in Belgium, and now he extends the lead of his championship. What an incredible race there. Well done to Emerson. Nigel is second for Alfa Romeo. Third position is Murphy. Jonathan Cox takes fourth in the end. Whereas Favre comes through to finish fourth in the end. Favre finishes fourth. Jonathan Cox in fifth in the end. XR is coming through to finish in sixth position. Good drive for XR. Stio on his return is back up in the seventh. Roscoe on his debut. Great job. This is a very difficult drive, wasn't it, here today? Laggy has got a 4-second penalty. Roscoe finishes 8th on his debut. Fantastic stuff for the Scotsman. Mr. Elite is in 9th position in 15 laps on those hard tyres. So well done to Mr. Elite. He finishes 9th in the end. Who is going to get the final point then? At the moment is Stringy, who's got a 10-second advantage over Fisher in 11th position, and Laggy is in 12th position. Laggy on a very difficult race in his home Grand Prix. So just watching the final man then. Well, not the final man. The final man who is could potentially score points, depending on how many points he's got. Well, Fisher, well, both of these guys I think have just thrown on a set of soft tires for fastest lap here. Laggy is out of the race then, so Laggy is out of the race unfortunately, so we are down to 11 cars then. Almost half the field then retired. Street there comes across the line and he finishes 10th from Can Fisher. And look, we got rain right at the end there, so we did have rain on the horizon, but as Jonathan predicted, it was too late, and I think Fisher might get fastest up here. He does get fastest up, so Fisher gets fastest up and steals the point away from anyone. I think it was Granty, wasn't it? Well, Granty wouldn't have got it anyway, but wow. What an incredible race and incredible developments there towards the end then. Well, thank you all for sticking with us today, because we had to delay to the start because of issues in the session. But look at this, Emerson is back on top for the Haas team, his 4th win of his career, and he is now got a command and is now back in the lead championship. Well, he wasn't the lead anyway, but he's now going to extend his lead again there for Emerson. Emerson there. Oh wow, that's been a wow, what a race there from Emerson. Brilliant. I've run out of superlatives. Incredible stuff here today. Nigel's second. Nigel's really on form now, isn't he? He's really starting to turn the wick, and Murphy gets another podium and in third position as well. And Emerson, no penalties either from third on the grid to first. He's still got that pole position, but it doesn't matter as long as you keep winning, that's all right. Nigel was second in the end. Great drive from Nigel, the defending champion. Third position is Murphy, far from second on the grid, fourth in the end. Jonathan Cox in fifth. XR, what a cracking drive from XR from 17th to 6th, and brilliant drive from XR. Stio in 7th, great drive from Stio. And Roscoe on his debut 8th, lovely. Mr. Elite in 9th position, and Stringy is in 10th, with Fisher in 11th position. Laggy, Granty, Crazy, William, Sam, Fireshot, Renzo and Maxi are all retired from this incredible Belgian Grand Prix. And of course we do have our podium winners, sitters, just joining us in the commentary box now. But before we do so, let's just quickly go through the comments a bit quick then. Laggy Racer, I want to forget this as soon as possible. Very difficult day for that. And Ayrton, who to be honest has been very quiet in the comments, as I mentioned on the last lap, has said team member said, I did mention that his fan group wasn't out today, and I wonder if that was the reason why he won. So yeah, well done to Emerson, and of course great to see Ayrton in the comments as well. I know why I had a setup issue. I know I had an issue. It wasn't set up. So Jonathan Cox said that was an interesting development there from Jonathan Cox. Anyway, enough about the comments. It's been great to have all you along and all you chatting away to me as well. Brilliant stuff. Anyway, let's come to the race winner, the 4-time race winner now, Emerson. Wow, you're back on form. 5 races without a win, and then you come here today and you storm to victory. What an incredible first lap. Take us through it.
Well, it was just all about the start, really. I mean, I was kind of glad that I didn't get pole position, because it was just so important, that run through Eau Rouge and down the Kemmel Straight, to not being first, because you're just going to get slipstream. So I just knew I had to try and go for it. So I just went down the middle of both of the cars and then just came out in first, luckily.
I would say that was absolutely mega, to be honest. Absolutely incredible stuff there. And yeah, as I said, your first win in 5 races. How difficult was it? Because you had a couple of very difficult races, didn't you? But how difficult it is to keep your mentality, and that somehow you still kept the lead in the championship right up to this point, and now you extended it.
Yeah, I'm having a really bad few races, but then I was just thinking about it yesterday. I was rewatching some of the races, and I seem to be in too many battles, so I thought I need to come into this race and just sort my own strategy out and run my own race rather than get involved in loads of little battles. Because last week on the lap 30, where I probably should have just let Nigel, I think who it was, go past rather than try and fight it. But yeah, I just ran my own race today and it seemed to work.
It definitely did indeed. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I've got to say, my favourite battle was between you and Firestart in France. So yeah, I know from your point of view, it's easy to have, it's better not to have battles, but from our point of view, we love it. But yeah, well done. And we've now gone on to Monza next weekend. I think we've only got like 6-7 races to go. How much are you going to be how much is your championship hat going to be on now? Or are you still going to have to take it race by race?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. That's what I was on about in Hungary. I probably should have let him pass rather than try and fight for the position, because with Nosey getting the puncture right at the end, I probably could have been second or third maybe, rather than just getting the single point that I ended up getting. But yeah, I've got to go race by race now and take up the championship, I reckon.
Brilliant stuff. Well done, Emerson. Your 4th win of your career as well. You're only 2 behind the man who was second today, and that's Nigel, the most successful man in ALR currently. Nigel, great race today. It looks like you've come back on form as well. That's 2 races in a row now you've been on the podium. Fantastic stuff. Oh, you are indeed. I'm really looking forward to this. Then I want to see a straight battle between yourself and Emerson. That's going to be fantastic. But yeah, talk about the race today. Then it looks like you was as cool as a cucumber, and you got out in front of Farfar. It looks like your Alfa Romeo pit crew seems to be well drilled. Oh, it was a quality battle as well between you and Farfair. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that 4-car battle as well. It really was. But I think one of our fans mentioned in the comments that if you guys were together and dragged each other along, you might have caused Emerson some problems. But that's not your way of thinking, is it, driver? Surely you want to be you want to get as high as place as possible. You don't want to work together, do you? No. Excellent stuff. And I must admit, I'm really bad at my maths at the moment, but yeah, I think you got your outside contenders in the championship at the moment. So I still think you're roughly 6. So but you're kind of closing in on the battle at the top. But is championship in your mind, or do you think it's too far gone? Definitely indeed. Just remember 2007, of course, Kimi Räikkönen was nowhere near, was he, in the last 3 races, and he snuck through in the end there. Fantastic stuff, guys. Thank you all for joining us in the commentary box today. Of course, congratulations to Emerson. Absolutely superb drive. His first win in the last 5 races. His 4th win of his career now. Nigel, of course, the most successful man in ALR at the moment, was second today, and he is also, and he just said he was back as well, and he's looking very formidable towards the end of the latter half of the season. So keep it out for Nigel as well. I don't think Dan Murphy's joined us tonight, unfortunately. So as I think he was 3rd place at the end. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We will be back in a week's time in Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Can Laggy and Murphy show the way for the Italian fans? And what about Alfa Romeo as well? Remember, they got a bit of Italian in them as well, haven't they? Can Nigel fly the flag for them? And what about Mr. Elite? Anyway, from here though, it is goodbye. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your comments. It's been brilliant stuff today. Thank you for the returning twat as well. Love that guy. But from here, it's goodbye.